So shall we start the second podcast?
Absolutely, positively.
Indeed.
So welcome to the show, people. We are here recording our second part of the podcast, and you may be wondering, second part? I haven't heard the first part yet. That's because we haven't got into it yet. So what you're going to hear today is a little intro from us, and then we're going to go into our TriPod, Two Titans and a Hunter, Guardian Down, and the Guardian Hubs. And that's going to run, and then you're going to come back, and you're going to listen to us talk some more. So go and enjoy that. There will be spoilers, so be careful. If you haven't done the campaign, we do talk a lot of spoilers to an extent, not too much. So yeah, go and enjoy that and come back and listen to what we have to say after that.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. So what makes us different, you may ask? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 information, news, and opinions, and all the things that are broken. We encourage your questions and feedback. Please contact us by either emailing the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. And now, whether we want it or not, we just have to do a war with Cabal on Mars. So let's get to taking out their command one by one with 4 Titans, 4 Hunters, the Down Upcast, and now on with the show.
Well, what a night we have planned. Beyond Light is officially out now for Destiny, and I know we all are going to have a lot to talk about. I mean, we can pretty much just get started. We have no super structure to this, but we do want to talk about many topics, the campaign, both the Beyond Light, the New Light. We're going to talk about the new supers, sandbox changes, the story missions, and any kind of endgame activity that we're seeing so far. You may have all heard on the respective podcasts that this is semi-spoilerish. If you haven't played the campaign or the story or any of this yet, you know, you may want to do that first, but people want to hear what we're playing through. So we're going to talk about everything we've experienced so far, including the end of the story. So when we just started it and hopped into it, what were our first impressions? We kind of remember we ended with the Traveler having that beam of light and then supposedly repairing itself. But like any good Destiny campaign, it kind of brings us in with a cutscene right away. And then we go into that first mission and we finally get to see Europa. Beautiful, beautiful place space. I guess I just kind of want to talk about, and we can talk about the story as we go along. We don't have to say every single story mission, but what do we think about Europa? I was a little skeptical at first. I'm like, oh, it's just going to be a snowy planet. Who cares? But boy, the geometries, the graphics, everything about Europa is really doing it for me right now.
Can we
just go? Can we just go back?
First of all,
no,
it's a satellite, not a planet.
I want to
To
talk.
point that out.
Yeah, same thing with the moon, but we still call it a planet. Get over it.
We don't call it. Nobody calls the moon a planet.
Destination. It's a destination.
It is a planet in Destiny.
Oh, in Destiny.
Can we go back and talk?
Yes, Night Demon. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, can we go back and talk about the cutscene and the end of, the last season? Because I think it was a good idea to have that big event and everybody show up and run around and do that little mission and see what happened with the Traveler reforming and getting a special emblem. But if it was 2 o'clock in the morning over in Europe, nobody was up apart from the YouTubers, and I was expecting maybe to log on to Beyond Light and get the emblem because I've done everything else that's for the past season. I got nothing because I wasn't up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think that's fair. I know you guys probably didn't matter because you were all kind of queued up and in there.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. You're talking about the Calamity Protocol event.
Yeah.
Emblem. You had to be there. We talked about this a little bit early on in the week because we recorded right after the live event on Monday night to give our impressions leading up to Beyond Light. And it was a long event. They say that servers are going to come down about 7 o'clock for a small update and go back live. And then from there, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes of sitting around. I said it in our cast, obviously, they should have been a little bit more direct on the timing. I think would have given people a little bit more opportunity for folks like yourself that are in a different time zone where they would normally be fast asleep, maybe they could have set an alarm 15, 20 minutes before having to log in to be able to go and do it. Didn't really give you much opportunity other than a 3-hour time span. And it didn't happen until 10 minutes before the server shut down. Basically, you start getting the voice lines that you get in there from Paris, and then, of course, the Traveler with the light. But I thought it was a cool event. I do feel bad that you can't, for those who missed it, you can't go back and get it.
No, but I mean, I don't mind watching the event afterwards because it was like, as I said, 2 o'clock in the morning, but not to actually get the emblem because I've participated in everything for that season. You know, I did literally everything. And I know there's going to be a lot more other people out there that are obviously in the same boat. But I think, as Bungie did when it originally started with Destiny 1, where they turned the servers on depending on what region you were in. So over in the UK, we got it like 5 hours ahead of you guys. But ever since Destiny 2, you know, they've kind of, everything all has to go at the same time. I wouldn't have minded having to log on, say, 10 o'clock at night, and all our servers shut down just then. That's it. The whole of, you know, Europe, that bit goes, and then it slowly goes through, you know, around the rest of the world. I think that would have been a little bit better.
Yeah,
well,
why didn't
they just do it like, you know, how instead of having one time when it just happened, period, done, game over, right? We were down for like 24 hours, right? So while we were down for those 24 hours, people could have logged into like a semi-server, right, and watched their own cutscene and gotten their own emblem like once every 5 hours, right? There was ours, and then 5 hours later there could have been another smaller event like on one just kind of a server, and then 5 hours later there could have been another one for another time zone, right? There was nothing that was stopping them from doing that. So now the people that are in his place just never get the emblem, right? And I know some people are like, well, there's other emblems you get, like the one with the laser through the forehead for laser tag weekend or whatever. Well, you know, that wasn't at the time kind of a thing. Like, you know, that was like the whole day, right? Everybody in all time zones got a chance to get that if you were playing at the time. This particular time, it happened once at one very specific time, and if you were asleep, you're just done.
Yeah. And the thing is, even with the Almighty crashing and hitting the tower, you still had a period of time after that to go and stand where Zavala was and inspect the crash site and get the emblem. You know, it was a hidden thing, but it was still available. But going into this season, there was no way for anybody else to kind of get that emblem if they'd done, you know, say they'd done the seal, you know, and they click on it and it gives them the hidden emblem. But
that's right.
That's just my moan anyway. Sorry.
I forgot about that. Good point on you were able to get that, because I was trying to remember the timing on the last one. I thought it was earlier in the day for us, but I like some kind of a blend of saying, or what Respawn is saying, like let us be able to click on it a little bit after for a certain period of time, you know, maybe a day's period while the servers are down, or even if they're not down, something like that. Well,
or even if they'd have done the event at reset and you just couldn't have visited those other planets, they would have said, right, you cannot visit those planets. They're going to just, you know, it won't be selectable on the director at that point, that time. There'll be an event, but you can still log in until like 6 hours later. So you've got from reset till 6 hours later to go and claim this emblem. That would have been a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Oh, I appreciate.
Carry on with your bill on light.
Yeah, no, it all. Yeah, we did talk about this a little bit on ours, but I forget that maybe the other two haven't, and it definitely builds into the season. It is a good thing to talk about, and you know, the planets are gone. They didn't blow up as I was expecting, but they are gone. The darkness took them over. Whatever, they're gone. You know, it was cool how the director changed. But okay, now we're on Europa. I'm curious. Hazel, Gator, I haven't heard from you guys for a minute here. What are some of your initial thoughts on opening mission and just seeing Europa for the first time?
Go ahead, Hazel.
Go ahead, Gator.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of ice and snow and all that stuff. I like nice foliage and stuff like Venus. I like places more like that. And I know I'm making all kinds.
There's no Venus in DU2.
I know, but I love Venus in Destiny 1, and I loved it because there was so much flowers and growth and green, and one thing I did now that I've played a little bit, I've realized about Europa. There is going to be so much coming out of that planet because moon. Sorry, it's a moon, right? Sorry.
Planetoid object.
Destination.
Yes, thank you, Sin. Once I was able there. This place is enormous, and once you start later after we'll talk about this later, but the game opens up, and as it opens up, you start investigating more and more areas of the map, and wow, I mean, it's deceivingly enormous. Until you get down in some of these areas, you really don't realize how big an area it is.
Yeah, it really is. I just wanted to focus, 1 minute, because, okay, I was really impressed. Again, I didn't think I would like just this snow or whatever, this ice. You could say it's somewhat monotone, but they really made it work for me somehow. And even that opening mission, and you start seeing these snowstorms that come through that you see on patrol also, and the way they orchestrated it, those first several ships coming in, and just, I don't know, it's working for me. And it is a huge destination. You're right. You can get to some pretty high places and some pretty low places. The verticality is pretty amazing. Where, if you look at the EDZ, they have a lot of these areas where like, oh, you can't get up there. It's, it's the ceiling. But I just feel like on Europa, there's a lot of places you can explore and get around, which I think add to that. And yeah, what we'll talk about a little bit later too, even though there's a lot of the white and the ice, it sure makes up from it for the lost sectors and some of the areas on the map on the left and stuff like that.
Yeah, those areas on the left, those it's the Clovis Bray facility, although they are sprinkled throughout, but yeah, that stuff was absolutely amazing to me. I mean, I just wandered in there randomly. I didn't even know where the hell I was going, and I just ended up just spending probably a good portion of time in there, just wandering around, seeing what I could see, and making some connections that were kind of shocking and eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
while we're on the topic, we can talk. Let's just give impressions of like patrolling around too. I don't know, Des or Sin, you want to add anything? Also, parody on, without getting into maybe topics we might talk about a little bit down the road. But what are your thoughts of just Europa in general and patrolling around?
Loved it.
It is a very nice space. I love the colors. I like the wind. The wind was a surprising shock. Whenever they said there's going to be like a change in weather and things like that, I didn't think that it would physically move your Sparrow. And I've had so much fun watching people drift off the edge of the map and die.
See, that's one thing I've really enjoyed, the verticality. I've either purposely or accidentally launched myself off of what I was sure was certain death. And then I end up down below somewhere. Oh, hey, there's a whole other area down here that I couldn't see because there was a giant snowstorm. I feel like as, part of the Frozen clan, this is just our destiny, literally, to be in a giant ice world with ice things, cosmic ice classes. I've really enjoyed Europa. I've really enjoyed just riding around and just exploring it. I enjoy being in a totally new space where I see a thing and I interact with the thing and it's like, oh, there's a counter now. Something's going to happen. I have no idea what it is. I sort of purposely have not watched a lot of, coverage and people finding things and getting through all the content day one because I want to go just explore Europa. I want to go find things and have that, watch the cutscenes, enjoy the story. I've played basically this entire week solo at this point and just kind of just running around enjoying myself like a kid, on a snow day going, oh, it's snowy outside. Let's see what's happening. I've enjoyed just, exploring the nooks and crannies and those first couple of days wandering into places going, oh, I should not be here. There's a very angry man and I'm very dead now. I should not be here yet. I am not strong enough. And I enjoy feeling that, not super God level because you spend so long just being invulnerable going, oh, you're here to kill me? I don't think so. Walking in and just getting one shot by something, it's like, oh, right. I have to pay attention to where I'm going now. I'm no longer a god at the moment.
Yeah, it felt good to see those question marks above an enemy's head when I was shooting it. Like,
did you have that moment where you completely forgot what that meant? Because I did. I'm like, what the hell is that above their head? One shot. Oh.
Or the swords, the red swords next to him. It's like, buddy, if you're gonna fight this dude, you better be able to stick around for a while. This isn't gonna be an enemy you just blow away and keep moving. Found that out a
It's
couple times.
it's so fun. It is a good aspect, like he's saying, to feel powerless again, and then to overcome that. It's just it's like and one of the things that catches me off guard a lot is the big they call them brigs, but I don't know why they call them brigs, because brig in my mind, I'm military, it's prison, right? Brig is prison. I don't know why they call these things brigs, but I digress. Point is like the big one. He was out in the snow. I'm riding my Sparrow, and all of a sudden, this dude, it was snow. There he is, stomped dead. What? Just completely covered him up until I was right on him, and it was too late at that point. Just he had his way with me.
Yeah, I'm impressed with these new enemy types. Go ahead, Hazel.
I was just gonna ask, did anybody do the mission with from Varix? Basically like the first one where it unlocks the whole sabotage thing.
I've done all of the missions.
I've done all of the missions
because that's that was a moment for that when that brig came out. Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, oh, okay. it made me realize that I think I would like the game a whole lot more if it were all just like story missions. Because I mean, the whole campaign was just, not to get ahead of it there, but the whole campaign just made me miss the campaigns again.
Yeah, there being a story in this game. Watching all these cutscenes, I'm going, I want them to do like a full length animated film, because you show me you can tell a story really well. You've got interesting characters. Like I want, the lore I enjoy, but I want to see it on the big screen in front of me when movies are a thing we can go to again. But that's what I want to enjoy. That's what I want to see, because I've enjoyed all these cutscenes. Yeah.
Were you going to say something?
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I don't have sound anymore. What's going on?
Stop breaking things. But yeah, I agree with you, Hazel. Just I've really enjoyed the stories and the campaigns. As I don't know if I want to replay them over and over, but I enjoy there being story there and there being a point to just what we're doing, not just there's aliens here, go kill them.
Yeah, and I am going to focus on the campaign next. Now, I did want to say real quick, I love the new enemy types, the brigs, like you guys mentioned. At first, I was a little skeptical. I'm like, the guy from Wrath of the Machine, many versions of them, who cares? But actually, they're a lot of fun to deal with. And then also the new harpies with legs, what are they called, wyverns? Or
I don't know, but they are super annoying.
I was going to say, they like Sin. I joke about that. They want to peck Sin to death all the time.
They just want to be titans. They just want to rush you and melee you like a titan. They're drawn to you, Sin.
They
just want hugs.
Yeah, I can't really punch them. They punch me.
Well, you can try. They don't care for it.
Right?
Yep. Any other comments on the world environment in general? And then I want to move on to thoughts about the campaign.
Yes, I Flame Beyond Light. It felt like what? What snap?
He can't hear us. Just continue.
Yeah.
Although we're all
we
one
can hear
track,
him,
aren't
but,
we?
yeah.
That's fair enough. Flame Beyond Light. It was like playing Destiny 1 again, and I think it's a combination of the complete refresh of the game, having to just click the button to say yes, I want to load into the game, and be there within like a minute, and being able to load to the planet, and then just these fabulous worlds that you're kind of riding around on a Sparrow. It's just, yeah, it was just fantastic to actually get that feeling of the original Destiny again, and then being able to go back to the Cosmodrome and be quite close to what the original Destiny was, that original feel. Yeah, it was definitely something, especially with the weather and all the little nooks and crannies, like you guys were saying, that you can go and explore and find and do all these different things. And yeah,
excellent. Yeah, it's an amazing place, and I'm sure there's going to be more secrets and more things we're going to explore. I mean, there's already rumors of other parts of the map opening up. I don't know how true those are, but anyways, let's talk about the campaign. I thought it was a great length.
I'm back. I don't know what the hell.
Congratulations. We've been able to hear you all the time.
Yeah, it's almost like you never left.
Sorry. I thought like my whole Discord went out, man. My bad.
Campaign. I thought it was an excellent length. Excellent. Let's just talk about that first, and then we talk about impressions. I mean, Luke Smith had us all worried. Like, yes, I guess you could say it's smaller than Forsaken, but it's not really feeling that way to me, especially with all these after the fact side quests and whatnot. But of course, the if you look at the quest thing in your director, it said something of 32 steps. Well, of course, there weren't 32 actual story missions, but still, the pacing I felt was excellent. The actual story missions were good when we were in them, and it had a fun overall ending. Although sometimes people were a little frustrated with some of the boss fights. Thoughts? I want to hear from people. Did anyone have any problems on any of the missions at first, if they were playing solo? Just throw it out there.
I played with a friend game. I played with both you and Nalsy for the story missions, which I like. I didn't really need to play it solo. I muted y'all when I needed to hear stuff, and vice versa. So no, it was good. So
Sin didn't get to experience the frustration of soloing a mission under level. Anyone else try that?
Many times.
The first hunt when you have to fight the guy with the shield barriers, and I got all the way to the end where I was given stasis and then used my super, got knocked off a ledge, and had to start over again for the 19th time.
Yeah, there was a lot of knocking off the ledges for me too, and although I enjoyed running it solo,
it was fun. I ran with the Wither Horde right before they turned it off.
Oh, nice.
The Wither Horde was on my first run through. The Wither Horde was paramount. You had to have it because some of these were just it was too hard, man. It was too flipping hard, and it was rough. So the Wither Horde was the only reason I managed to beat some of these encounters I was involved in, and then it went away.
Yeah. I was going off on in our Discord about it. I was a little salty, a little fun, or actually very, very and everything. But I mean, and then Kingsley goes, "Oh, well, didn't you know you're supposed to do New Light first?" I'm like, well, no, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm not a new Guardian.
I guess you should, not you're supposed to, so you can level up.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I have thoughts about Shahan, just because.
We'll definitely talk New Light. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Tassi. Yeah, that's what I've been calling him.
Paul Tassi.
Yeah, he looks like Paul Tassi.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Do you think the campaign was an appropriate length and difficulty? What did you think overall about the campaign, Hazel?
I mean, I thought it was okay. It seemed a little short. But again, it's still early, and I think that they still got a bunch of surprises up their sleeves. So it's one of those things, like, I think it's still kind of early to make a judgment about it. But I mean, I think it was all right for what it was.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The whole expansion isn't even out yet, right? We still have a lot of stuff that we haven't even seen yet, right?
We don't know.
It's hard to say. Yeah, there may be more expansion, but there's also the season too, which is technically not supposed to be considered the expansion. But
so we shouldn't all take to Reddit and scream about how it's terrible.
No, we can. No.
Oh,
I don't not think anything's terrible. I mean, I guess this is easy saying after the fact, but way better than Shadowkeep campaign in my mind. Definitely up there, very close to. Gosh, now I can't remember the one before it.
Forsaken.
Forsaken or King's Fall. Very close to those in my opinion. So.
Yeah, they're so hard to remember once you play them.
Yeah, I think the thing is, people will always forget what happened last year with Shadowkeep. We had Shadowkeep and we had the season of Undying, didn't we? All at the same time. Mm-hmm. And everybody was going, "Oh, this is fantastic. We've got so much stuff to do." And then the next season came and it was like, "Really? This is all we've got to do now?" And it was just like that little bit of a season. So don't kind of get your hopes up too high that this is what's going to be every season. Remember, this is the game and a season all tied together. And most of it is going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the whole game ain't even here yet, so it's hard to make.
The season's not here yet. Yeah.
No,
sorry,
we don't know what's going to happen.
The verbiage.
We don't know what's going to happen with the game. The game might open up even further for what Beyond Light is over time, but I think the season starts next week, which is where we're going to get a majority of content, plus probably a few bits of Beyond Light sprinkled in for good measure.
Any other thoughts on the story campaign, Des? I was wondering what you were thinking about it too. And Gator, haven't heard from you. I mean, anyone can speak up at any point if you want, but I'm just trying to pass around the mic.
Go ahead, Des.
I can talk now.
You can always talk. You can always speak up.
Is that allowed? Sorry.
With that attitude.
You've been allowed to talk, but not Gator. But Gator's going to be allowed soon. Go ahead, sir.
Did we lose him?
I cannot hear you.
Cue Jeopardy music.
Maybe while we're working on that, Gator can start.
Hold on, I have my mic muted. Okay, what I think so far about the campaign, the story, is I thought it was a little short. I agree with Hazel. I think what Bungie wanted to do is they wanted to get the story done so we can the game kind of opens up after that. And there's so much to do once you complete the actual story. My only gripe is when you're going up north on the map to like the Braytech, the technocrat areas, there's nothing on the map that shows you where the hell you are. So I must have spent 3 or 4 times going back and forth trying to find certain areas to unseal chests to get my armor pieces from Varix. And it's just like when you go further than, I would say 60% of the map, you're going further north of it. It's like your icon on the map just disappears. I'm sure it's a bug. I'm sure it's something Bungie's going to fix, but that was my only gripe. I thought the story was very good, and yeah, I mean, I thought it was a little short. I think it was like, I soloed everything, and the boss fight, the last boss fight was okay, but I thought the following boss fight after that was even harder. So that's where I'll leave it.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear comments on thinking it's short. Now, do you guys at least think it's better than Shadowkeep or not much? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Anything is better than Shadowkeep. That was terrible.
Well, I mean, I actually do have a complaint. I was waiting for somebody to say this, but nobody has, right?
You?
No. It's a legit one, I think, not just a random one, okay? But there is no fast travel points.
Oh, yeah.
North or east of the
100%
map.
agree. I've been mentioning that since day one on our Discord.
Yeah, that, and like Gator said, I a number of times looked at the map going, I'm up here north somewhere, but I don't see myself. I don't even see myself like underground, like if you're in a lost sector, like the little like cross-hatched version of you, just you're off the map entirely. You know, is this an uncharted world literally where you go north of Varix and it says, you're somewhere on Europa, we'll find you later. Yeah, hopefully it's a bug they'll fix.
No, I was going to say, I think it's something they've done deliberately, because they did it with Forsaken when we went to the Dreaming City. We've got that one point, and you remember we had to travel all around there, and people moaned constantly, and they went, tough. That's it. That's the one point. You go there, you know, you're not going to get anything else out of us. I think it's going to be the same for Europa.
Yeah, isn't that kind of like centralized, at least a little bit? I can't remember. That's why I'm asking. But
no, not at all.
It's spot on.
No.
But okay. So if they don't want to give us another fast travel point here, at least move one of the existing ones we have, because we have 2 of them, and they're both right next to each other in the south of the map. Why?
Well, because
we don't even have to go down there, and we don't even have to go down to, the stranger.
Well, we do actually.
I mean, but I think that might not
later on. After you unlock the game, she's going to be one of your primary vendors. But
but still, though, I mean, but there's nothing to do down there besides go to her. It's like, I'm much
that's fair.
more
that's why
willing.
You don't need a fast travel point there, man.
That's what I'm saying.
We actually need it. Yeah.
Maybe it'd be something that's removed once a certain part of the content has kind of expired. So maybe in 6 months' time, she has to go off and do another mission, and that one will be expired, and we just have the one at Varix. Maybe that's the reasoning.
So your reasoning is to take away another.
Yeah.
Up north.
Yeah, maybe we can fight our way north as we explore more of Europa. We establish a new base, a new front line further up. Let the Drifter and Eris hang out there. Maybe that'd be fun to have it move around. We did have with the Dreaming City cycle. people moving around. It'd be interesting if if that happens. Yeah, thank you, Petra. I couldn't think of her name. Yeah, have our vendors in Europe move around as we sort of take over the map, or as things get uncovered or explored.
So I think I heard. Did I hear Des again? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent thoughts, please.
Yeah,
on, any of the above.
I made a joke, and then Discord decided to make a joke out of me by crapping out. So, fantastic!
Isn't that how it always works?
Right. Oh God. But no. As I was saying for a good while before I realized, man, everyone went really quiet. I hope my joke didn't go bad. And then realized, yeah, the Discord thing. But anyway, I do have to say that how far are we going into the campaign, or is this kind of fair game-ish?
Anything about campaign, fair game, yep.
I feel that in the overarching grand scheme of things, this entire campaign is built for the singular purpose to give us the stasis super.
It is. No, that's an accurate assessment. That is
Yes.
all it is. They tried to sprinkle in other characters like Varix and all this other stuff, but you are 100% right. That is what it's about.
Yes. But as far as content that they've made just to give us supers, this is the best. By far. Because our villain Aramas is actually one of the best central antagonists we've had in a long time. We know her purpose. Oh, we know her purpose. We know where she's coming from.
But there was not enough of it. I mean, it's like, I feel like this is Aramis.
Yeah. Baby steps.
She's
Baby
dark.
steps.
And now you kill her. There was no build up to it. It's like, bam, here she is. This is what she wants. Kill her.
I mean,
she has been around, but in the lore
and that too. But that in the opening cutscene pretty much tells you 90% of all of the justification word I'm looking for. Anywho, motivation. There we go. That she needs is the fact that that, and they kind of also sprinkle a little bit of the fact that yes, she's dark, but Varix is there to tell us that she hasn't always been that way. She's twisted. I mean, kind of spoilery, but the Exo, which I love the fact that the Exo Stranger's back. Oh my goodness, she's back, and she actually, Luke Smith made the joke that she would have time to explain, and my God, every time,
wow,
right? And every time you give her a freaking skeleton key, now you get like a paragraph of exposition.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Glorious.
This is like heavy stuff, guys. This isn't like, oh, well, yeah, no, that was in the lore or whatever. No, this is like mind blown. I did not know this was in the lore.
Yeah.
Our lore guy was putting stuff in our chat. I'm like, stop doing this to me. I hate you. Shut up.
Yeah, like the fact that Clovis Bray the first and second were basically the biggest douchebags around.
Yeah. That blew me away. I was just like, I don't know.
You hear so many nice things and great things.
Did you see that Clovis Bray is still alive and who he is? That's all I'm gonna say. Did y'all see that?
No.
Maybe not. Is that in one of the missions or something?
No, our lore guy found that. He sent it to us. He sent the video. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So.
But is it in the game?
I
somehow?
can tell you. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. So I can tell you guys now, and y'all can cut it out, or you can let your listeners in on it. But are you ready? Let me know if you want me to say it or not.
Are you sure he's just not trolling you?
He is alive.
No, I know what you're going to say. Oh, I've heard this.
I looked
up
the lore. He sent me a link. I looked up the lore. It is canon. Okay? It's canon. Okay. So, cut it out if you want to, but here it is. He is alive, and there are 44 iterations of his Exo. Who do we know that's got 44?
I mean, yeah, that pretty much already. I'm sorry, I'm too deep. I love Banshee too much. I love Banshee too much.
I can't. I'm looking at Banshee right now, and it's blowing my mind that he is Clovis friggin' Bray, dude.
But then again, considering he's been reset 44 times, now we know that in order to get a reset, apparently Exos were flooded with darkness to like contain / reboot their system.
Darkness and the Vex fluid. It's like a mixture of the two, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I guess Exos also partially run on Radiolaria themselves, which makes sense considering, I mean, Bray or Clovis Bray the first, I think, made the Vex Gate, which, you know, also spoilery, but it's been out for a little bit by now. So yeah, and the fact that freaking the one thing I love, the Stranger pretty much, they don't beat around the bush. They don't do anything. Like within your second interaction, she sits you and stares at you. She's like, you know, my grandfather told me, you know, Elizabeth, and it's like, oh, she's Elsie. Cool.
Yeah.
I love that. They didn't beat around the bush. They didn't do anything. They're just like, oh yeah, here's Elsie.
Yeah.
And I love how in one of the lost sectors, the ghost is saying something like, yeah, the Vex that are in here were probably Vex that were around. What was the implication that they came from the people that were there earlier or something like that? If I understood that right. That was a little freaky.
Oh, I've got a question, seeing as we're on this topic about the Stranger, right? So she says that she's come from a different timeline where darkness is all around, blah, 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 blah. Where's our Stranger then? What's happened to our Exo Stranger? If she's this one that keeps jumping from time to time to time...
She's dead.
Yeah, she could be dead.
Yeah.
She could be.
She was one of the first experiments that Clovis did, remember? She had to go first. So in our timeline, she might have been killed. Maybe she didn't survive the experiments.
Yeah,
But they haven't explained that yet. There could be a billion Exo Strangers from alternate realities across the whole, you know. No?
But we are basically told that this is the Exo Stranger from D1 that visited us, considering she has knowledge of helping us, or I guess it was kind of legacy lines, you know, because they don't want to directly implicate the player character as anything major from D1, but they helped Guardians stop the Black Heart in the Black Garden. So this is the Stranger that has helped us, that has warned us. So.
Where's our Stranger, and why haven't we been visited by other strangers?
We don't care about
And
ours.
I need these answers from you guys.
To storytelling with time travel.
Right.
She didn't have time to explain.
Yeah, she didn't have time to explain, so she's dead.
Look, and we'll tell you the rest of it yesterday, okay?
Yeah, and we don't have time to explain everything tonight either, unfortunately, because there's so many things. We're going to be talking about this for weeks, but I want to focus on a few more things tonight, and then we can go around the horn on just another point that anyone wants to talk about. But let's talk briefly about, I know we could talk for hours, but the New Light campaign, because that's a huge part of the story too.
Oh my God, New Light!
Yeah, even if you don't think it is or haven't run it, I suggest everyone run it for reasons. Yeah, Des, you're very excited. Did it bring back the D1 feels?
Deleting a new character.
You can pick it up from the kiosk.
Yes.
You pick it up in the kiosk. Yes.
And you need to.
From the kiosk.
Respawn. We went over this last week.
Also, and
but you were talking,
and
I stopped listening.
Okay, Des, tell Respawn all about it. There's several missions and everything.
Oh my God, it's so cool. You go go back to the Cosmodrome, right? And it's Eyes Up Guardian all over again, and it's amazing because it's Eyes Up Guardian all over again, and you haven't seen it in like 3 years. Sorry, I'm gonna stop that now.
But it's not just that one mission.
No, because as soon as you go to it, it's the part of the tutorial where you actually go and fight the captain in order to secure the jump ship. That doesn't happen because Shahan comes over your comms. I am so glad that they introduced that character so early. I mean, he's basically the tutorial character, but they introduced him so quick. Because, like I said, you're heading into that hangar bay where your first fallen captain you fight is, and it's just all of a sudden comms, and it's him, and he's calling for help, and it just goes from there. And it is one. I would have to say it's probably about like 2 or 3 missions worth just in one go.
Before you even go to the tower, even.
Yeah. Before anything. Once you get started, I mean, to quote Baird in Final Fantasy VII, there ain't no stopping this train we're on.
Nice.
Yeah, once you start, it does not stop until, like I said, it's at least 3 or 4 missions worth. And it is glorious because the bad thing is everyone that, like legitimate new light players that play it, will never fully be able to appreciate what New Light is, which is the saddest part of New Light, because New Light is almost like this love letter to D1 vanilla month one, Destiny. Because it recreates so many like iconic moments.
Yeah,
And
the
it
array
follows
mission.
like
Yeah,
the array mission is there.
Your loot cave remains. Don't forget about that.
Yes,
they left
with the
they
voice
left the
line.
remains, and the voice line is still there, which is stupid. Because nobody but D1 veterans and people that are in on the joke will understand it. And
Mhm.
people will have to ask, "Oh, what's with these remains? What's the lore?" It's like, no, it's not lore. Stop it. But no, and then there's the fact that the new witch in which I happen to be shooting in the face with an SMG right now.
Novoda, yeah, and I
Yes,
talked about
Novoda.
that with you guys and with Guardian Down. Also, we were
Mhm.
like, "What's going on? Is it? It's not
Yeah.
Omnigul. It's Novoda," and it's interesting how they
No.
kind of brought that in.
And I am
Yeah.
actually super glad that she has absolutely nothing to do with Omnigul or Crota. She is actually her own self-contained entity that they
That
just
took over that
happen.
play space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she just happened to be another witch from the moon. But no. So yeah. So the fact that they took all these pieces, they're their own story. But like I said, it is just so. There's so many like callbacks to original Destiny that it was so. Oh, it did my heart so good. And the fact that at the very end, you'll know you're at the end, near the end of New Light, when because the Risk Runner exotic quest that they made,
Mhm.
that's pretty much what ends like the story part of New Light. Because after you get that, that's when Shahan gives you a jump ship and is like, "Oh yeah, this dude named Zavala. He runs the Vanguard. He wants to talk to you now." So
Yeah, and then you go to the tower. Yep.
yeah, and then it's the grand tour of the tower, and then there's of course the introductory crap, complete a gambit match and do a bounty and then do this other stuff, the basic stuff to throw you into the gameplay loops that is Destiny. And I think they do a really amazing job explaining things to people, but it is hilarious the verbiage that they that they use. It's only hilarious for veteran players because it gives you a purple drop in this whole quest, and all of a sudden there's a text that pops up and says, "Hey, you just got your first legendary." I'm like, "Not really,
These
video
are
game,
rare.
but okay."
Well, they used to be in
Um,
D1.
God, when it was actually more likely to get an exotic out of the legendary engram than an actual legendary. Anywho, but no.
So that's throwback.
Or the fact
yes,
that the only
it's
common,
all.
yeah, the only common weapon you get is the most rarest one in the game.
I know, right? God, Kvostov. Legitimately, like the rarest gun in the game, white. But no, so yeah, like New Light is actually an amazing. It's an amazing tutorial, and it's a really awesome like throwback for veterans, and I thought they did a really good job doing that. Like pretty much giving veterans a reason to go back through it because you're gonna have fun. I about guarantee it. And then
Something to do
there's
for sure.
yeah, it's something to do, and it does reward you like quite a lot
Mhm.
as well. There are actually a lot of powerful drops in that quest. So even if you're not new, I mean, because I got my teeth kicked in by Technocrat, whatever the crap his name is. The same guy that everyone starts, one of the P word guys. Anyhow. But no, so that's when I stopped the main campaign. I ran through New Light, and I didn't have to stop and grind again. So it's a cool little thing to do other than mindlessly grinding out strikes or something that can actually get you power level ready.
I have a question, Des.
No.
Do you
No,
get
go
it?
ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you get XP from doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I haven't done it yet.
And Shaw has bounties.
Yes.
You're missing out on
Yes.
bounties.
No,
You gotta
no,
go to him.
no. I got the bounties. I just didn't
Oh,
run the first. I didn't run the
And
thing.
I gained 4 season levels doing New Light.
Okay.
I got
Nice.
my
I'm
light
wanting to say.
soft cap to 1200 doing that in the main campaign. I didn't have to do the stupid loot cave. I had fun getting to the soft cap.
What a
It did.
thought.
So you guys didn't play Gambit to get to your soft cap? That's
No.
not what everybody
No.
does.
No, it's not Gambit. Actually, if you're looking to level up, I don't know how much grinding you've done, but as much as it hurts me to say this, and it does, Crucible is the best way to level up as far as.
Well,
like-
yeah, for the powerful
for sure.
cap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. I haven't gone back and done the new light. I've stepped on the Cosmodrome for about 30 seconds when I had to go to the campaign. But I just appreciate, Destiny sort of treating this like Destiny 3 of I'm running around and going, oh, hey, you got a bunch of kills with it on. Oh, hey, you got a bunch of kills with a shotgun. Good job. Like sort of having that initial, even though I hadn't touched the new light campaign, I hadn't, specifically gone into that, just the game being like, hey, you did a thing. Good job. And yeah, as a veteran player, yeah, I know I've gotten thousands of kills with these weapons, but it was nice to sort of have those bounties and those triumphs of, hey, you've done a thing. Here's some feedback. Hey, here's what this thing is. A little exposition in the game. So it was nice to sort of have that feeling again of here's a game sort of teaching you how to play it as you play it, not just because you have to run a tutorial mission. That's obviously there and it's great, and I'm looking forward to going back and reliving that joy. But it's nice just to have the game sort of hold your hand a little bit, go, here's where you should start. Here's what things are. Here's why some of this. And like we said, there's a story to sort of sink your teeth into, not just run over here, shoot the men's, run over here, shoot the men's.
Shaw's a tragic character, and you will find out why. But also, I felt really bad after first meeting Shaw because you step out into the steps whenever you do go into the world, and I felt awful because I didn't recognize where they put you out at. I didn't recognize the area. I'm like, steps? Was that even a place in the Cosmodrome? I look around a bit, and I'm like, nothing looks familiar. Is this a new area? And then I jump up a little bit, look to the right, and there's those 4 freaking steel drums. And I'm like, nope, I remember now because like 5 years ago, that's when gun test dummy me was standing in front of those barrels checking recoil patterns on auto rifles and machine guns.
I know where this is. I've been here before.
Exactly.
Yep.
And as soon as I saw those barrels, like everything just snapped back in. I'm like, yep, I know where I am now.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's good memories, good time. We do need to move on to, I want to talk about, we're going to give a quick review on the new supers, and then we'll talk about Sandbox, and then we'll kind of go around if anyone has other things that they wanted to mention. So I'll start with the Warlock super, the Shade Binder. I have to say, when I first got this, and this is just me and Gator can give our reviews. We're the only Warlocks here, I believe.
I've played a significant amount of Warlock in the past.
Okay, you've played a significant amount. I know
Wait a minute. He's a hunter.
I'm a hunter, but I'm a Warlock secondary.
Okay,
I'm a Titan never.
Okay.
Anyways, I wasn't impressed when I first got the super. I don't know how you felt, Gator, but now I'm enjoying it more as time has passed. And I'll just tell you what you need to unlock, and then I want to hear your thoughts, Gator. But once you unlock more of the abilities, boy, that cold snap, and I know this is the same for everyone, the grenades, but once you get that cold snap grenade, chef's kiss for PvE content, maybe even PvP too. But for the super, I wasn't super impressed at first. Haha, no pun intended. But I'm getting more used to it. It's really all about that verticality. You're up in the air. You want to look for a group of at least 2 or 3 ads or more, shoot down, push your R2 to shoot down the bolts, and then push the R1 to blast them to kill them. It feels annoying, like, oh, it's a 2-step thing to kill them. But as long as you can do that, you do have 30 freaking seconds for the super. So it can last a while. Your thoughts, Gator?
At first, I hated it. I was like, this is like a 2-part super. I mean, can I just kill him? I'm a Nova guy. Nova and dead and gone, moving on. But this freezing and there'd be sometimes I would float up in the air and hit some of the enemies and around Europa, and they wouldn't die. They would just be frozen. I'm like, oh geez, now I got to go over there and kill them with my little staff, my area of effect staff, which it's okay and it's good for crowd control. But at first, I was like you, Kingsley. I wasn't impressed. I was like, I think I'm gonna go back to Voidwalker because I don't know. But as I'm learning more about it, and I'm working on that grenade, Kingsley. I'm almost done on that mission where I can get my first upgrade. But so far,
First upgrade in a grenade, though.
Well, yeah, the first upgrade. Yeah, I'm getting to that point.
Yeah,
I'm getting to that
point.
point. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't impressed at first. I was like, and I wasn't impressed when I saw the vid docs and stuff talking about it. I was like, I just want to go back to Voidwalker because it's one and done, and you can kill 5 or 6 enemies if you group them right in one shot, and then move on. This where I have to freeze them and go and use my area of effect staff on them. I'm not impressed with that, and I guess for me the jury's still out. I haven't upgraded a lot of stuff yet, and I think that goes for everybody here. But
yeah,
that's
jury's out. I'm enjoying it a little bit more. I think there's some potential there. But of course, the grenades that we all have, they can get a lot better. Okay, Titans. Tell us about the Titan one. Now I hear it's a little bit no worky at times.
Janky.
GD.
Yeah. I think it's janky. The movement is a little weird, especially when you're like blasting through instead of using the ice fall maneuver. I definitely get frustrated in the Crucible playing as Titan Stasis against the other Stasis classes. PvE, it's okay. I think it could use a little bit of work overall, but again, I don't have a lot of I don't think I have anything unlocked for it yet. So as it sits, a little weird.
Isn't there a bug too? Like the punch doesn't work or something if you're in the super, or what was that? I thought I saw something. People were posting funny videos about the Titans punching and it wasn't working.
Well, it punches like through everything and sends you off maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like playing as that class, I feel a little bit like I'm drunk and on ice because I've definitely thrown myself in a direction. It's like, oh, I'm over here now. Yeah, the whole like having to lock your melee and then dash, I still haven't quite gotten the hang of yet. And yeah, I've definitely thrown myself here and there. It definitely feels just like you're just totally out of control in it. It's like I can destroy things. It might be me, it might be you, it might be this house we're in, but something's going to get destroyed after I use this. Something will happen. There will be death. I'm just like all these. I think it's too early to really get a good sense of it, but it's fun just to have something else, and it's fun to have a new class that's ice. We'll see the whole being frozen thing and having to unfreeze yourself based on your class movement. Because I guess for hunters, like you like double tap the button to dodge, and for Titans and I think Warlock, like you hold the button down to unfreeze yourself because that's
you do that with hunters too, but
that's super
you
weird.
Dodge to break out of it. If you don't have a dodge, we just have to press it the same way as you do, man.
Okay, I'd heard people talking about different things, but and again, I like it being in the part of the season where it's just a little, there's still some unknowns, but yeah, it doesn't feel that strong. It feels a lot like a crowd control movement super versus straight power. What do you think, Night Demon?
Extra thoughts? Yeah.
That'll be £4, 26 pence.
Yeah, he might be
sorry,
the customer right now.
No, sorry. Yeah, it is a little bit janky. PvP. I was hitting people. It's not a one-shot kind of punch. It's just push somebody around the map. I tried several times to hit people, and it'll push them. That's about all it does. I'm not sure whether it's bugged or if that's the actual thing. If that's the actual, melee ability, then it's definitely not for me. But yeah, I mean the super in general is pretty cool. I like slamming onto the ground and then using the super punch. That seems to work quite well. But yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have more details as we go on and unlock more things. Okay, hunters. I have a feeling Respawn's going to have a strong opinion.
Actually, yes and no. I actually have a stronger opinion about the other two because that's what I've spent all my time on this week. Because I'm doing the raid race, my hunter, I just started today, so I don't have a lot of info on that. But regarding the warlock, they are god tier. I'm sorry, guys. You're talking about how it doesn't feel strong. It is god tier in PvP and PvE. So, I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. But the Titan, Yeah, it's just janky, and the one punch that you're talking about, it is very much bugged. Sometimes it does one shot, sometimes it does not. That's one of the things that people are complaining about when it comes to the Titan is your one shot doesn't always one shot. But the one thing I do know about the Hunter so far is our tornado is pretty good. Actually, I'm not gonna lie about it. It's pretty good. It's a big area of denial move. You know, like, hey, you wanna control a point in control. Guess what? You drop Squall on there, they're not getting that point, and it's gonna chase them. So it's funny. And then you can get frozen repeatedly while in that super. So if you're a real tanky Titan, you're like, oh, I'm in my super, you can't kill me. Yeah, but I'm gonna freeze you like 5 times, and you're gonna die eventually, dude. You might be alive for now,
but you won't be happy about it.
yeah, and then eventually it will kill you. So big fan about our super, big fan about the Chinese stars that everyone's complaining about. They're like, oh man, I hate these things, they suck. They're not supposed to kill, they're supposed to lock them in place. And as of right now, well, they slow, yeah, but it still kind of locks them in place. And as of right now, I think I like that better than our throwing knives because it's easier to hit and the target is slowed, which means they have a hard time hitting you. The ADSs, I don't know if you've looked up stats about what happens when you're slow, but your ADS is worse, your accuracy is worse, your handling is worse, everything is worse when you're slowed. So yeah, when you freeze them, they're having a bad, or sorry, when you slow them, they're having a bad day, and you have a hell of a chance to kill them. Big fan of these dual throwing knives, and they bounce. So it's
Yes.
very nice. Sorry.
No. To follow that up. Oh my God. It feels so good. It's not super strong, and as a side note, definitely don't get like when you work on things from the stranger, which in my head I'm already starting to call her Elsie a lot. But anywho, when you get things to do quests for her, don't choose the Gambit track because then it's going to require you to get stasis super final blows, and good luck. My God. But no, because it's fairly strong. It's like I said, it's incredibly strong crowd control. It's area denial. It can do decent damage, which is surprising considering it's such good area lockdown. So that's 3 different terms that say the exact same thing that it does. But no, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good, and yeah, shurikens. They're a straight line. They come out fast. Sometimes I find myself, for whatever reason, double tapping my melee and very quickly shooting both of them off.
Is it because of the spin, the wind-up spin in the beginning? That makes me feel like it's kind of slow. Sorry.
I mean, no, I don't know why, but there's just times I'll double tap and they're just both gone. And it's like, oh, okay. And 9 times out of 10, it also happens to be when I miss completely, so both of them just go ricocheting off in the distance. Oof. Bye. See you later. But also they do precision damage, just like a throwing knife.
Mm-hmm.
So while damage may not be great, I have not stepped into PvP because I'm getting sidetracked by all the shiny stuff I could do.
It's a trap.
For sure, but I'm gonna do it eventually because power grind. So, but no, so yeah, it all feels really good. Yeah, I mean the tornado and the super lasts what I consider a dumb amount of time, and that will probably get nerfed at some point in time. Calling it now.
Not unless the 2 other roaming ones get nerfed. God, I hope not, man. Jesus.
I mean,
that's so long in PvP.
I mean, come on. Hunters usually get the short end of the stick first when it comes to
usually. No, they always do. Don't get me wrong. They
That's
always
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The fact that the warlock can kill you, go to your spawn, kill you again, and then still freeze you from the other side of the map is ridiculous.
All right, I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Look how long it took them to fix Storm Trance and Nova Warp that could both do the same thing.
As a designated warlock, I just want to say I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Uh-huh.
Of course,
Okay,
of course.
are we ready? Let's talk sandbox. I have heard the Warlock is a little OP right now in PvP. Are we ready for a Respawn's rant?
It's not a rant. It's not a rant. I was just given tidbits by
Which
my
means it's
fellow...
totally a rant.
No, it's not. It's a list of things that I was told to tell you guys.
God.
Not even mine. I was just told by Fuzzco.
Wait, is this related to the Warlock PvP or something else you're talking about?
All of the above. It's related to the Warlock. It's related to all kinds of stuff. Okay. So
Frozen PC hot takes.
So the first thing, right? The spawns, when you get in there, you'll find out that they are worse. I don't know what's going on with the spawns, but multiple times in PvP, you'll be spawned with the enemy, like with them. You know,
it's the new engine.
Yeah, and right now it's making the spawns horrible. It's like, because you think you're safe when you spawn. No, you'll spawn right next to a guy and he's got a shotgun pointing at you, or he's got the freaking fist about to hit you. Whatever. It's ridiculous, the spawns right now.
Gator, tell Microsoft to take their engine back. We don't like it.
Something. This is not fun in any way, shape, or form. Point number 2, I was told to bring up roaming supers for your guys' stuff is way too long. Don't get me wrong, the tornado for the hunters does last a long time, but it's mostly stationary, and the little bit that it does move, you can outrun it, right? So it's not broken. But the Warlock and the Titan, they are broken 100%.
What?
Oh yes.
Broken good or broken bad?
Broken.
I haven't heard the Titan so much, but I have heard the Warlock.
Well,
You're out of your mind.
No, I'm not, dude. I've been playing PvP for 2 days. No, trust me. It is broken.
Why?
Because
you play on PC where you shouldn't play PvP.
I think it's broken for a different reason. But
you're broken from playing too much PvP.
I'll tell you, the Titan punch is the problem, right? Their area of effect freeze isn't too bad. If you keep your distance, he can't freeze you. But that punch is nutters, right? He will charge from like you'll be playing PvP and he will punch from Gambit and kill you. Okay. The lunge on that thing is insane, you know, and they get just infinite of them while they're doing that, right? You can do the ice thing if you want to, but that's not how you want to play this guy in PvP. You just want to punch, and everybody around you dies. Now, it doesn't last as long as the Warlocks, which is why the Warlock is broken, but the Warlock can freeze you from forever.
Anything.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Warlock,
it's the ultimate shutdown right now, right?
And space, right? He took this whole LC Bray thing to a whole new level. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna freeze now, and 5 matches later, you get hit by it. You know, it's
through
just
2
ridiculous.
walls.
Yeah, through. Oh, and that's another thing. They freeze you through walls and around corners.
He can even stop the Superman Titan move. He can freeze that in midair, and you fall down to the ground.
Freeze anything. And that's not
that is.
No, to be fair, any freeze in this game can do that. If they get lucky with a throwing it, if I get lucky with a shuriken, any freezing thing in this game will do that exact same thing. Yeah,
you have the melee that spits out the bolts. Yeah,
exactly. And then of course the super is that melee and that AOE crap. I mean, it's nuts, and then it lasts entirely too long. And don't get me wrong, I loved using it in PvP. But I hate people using it against me because you just give up, man. When you see that thing in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen and you see the enemy Warlock has popped their super, you're just like, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter where you're at. He's gonna find you and he's gonna kill you probably twice. You know,
can it freeze a Nova Bomb coming at you?
Yes. No, it freezes the caster. It doesn't freeze the Nova Bomb itself. The special itself can't be freezed. Just the caster gets frozen.
Gotcha.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, the person.
So, but they tank a lot. Like I was Dawnblade, and I hit him with 2 Dawnblade, little swipey, flaming blade through the air, follow you bits, right? Those things, and he survived, and then killed me when he froze me and obliterated me. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So they get super armor on top of all that, you know. And for anybody that is saying, "Oh, it's all right," you are high and need to seek professional help that I cannot provide.
Well, I haven't hopped in PvP yet. Gator, have you done PvP yet at all?
I avoided PvP like the plague because 2 shows ago I told you this was going to be a problem. Freezing people in PvP is going to be a problem, and here it is.
And it's and that brings us to the next thing on our list, right? Freezing lasts entirely too long in PvP. Even if you don't push the button and you manage to survive, the ice or whatever, or if you hit the R button to break out early, you're still frozen for so long that Fuzzco's big complaint, and he's been saying this all day because that's his gripe. He got frozen. The guy walked up to him, reloaded his sniper, sighted in, shot him in the head. That's how long he was frozen, And I totally hear that, because once you get frozen, you're at their mercy. You are dead.
What would you say?
And people are like, just avoid getting frozen. Well, those of you that haven't unlocked this really cool grenade that follows you and freezes you, and then freezes two nearby buddies, you can't avoid it.
What would you say? 5 seconds? How long are people frozen usually?
I think it's about 5 seconds. Yeah.
That's an
eternity.
eternity.
Feels longer.
That's an eternity.
In PvP, it is a long time. 5 seconds is an eternity.
You might as well go to the middle of the map and just stand there for 5 seconds, and who's not going to shoot you in 5 seconds?
Exactly, man. And especially when they froze you, so they know exactly where you are. You're not lasting 5 seconds. There's no way. Unless somebody shoots him right as he freezes you, you are guaranteed to die. And that's what makes these so dangerous. They themselves don't do damage unless you break out, but you're at anybody's mercy for 5 seconds. And it's just too long. It's too long. Next thing, weak boss damage for all of them, pretty much across the board. And this was from one of our longtime PvP players, really, really good guy in PvP. He says, and I quote, "Why the fill in the blank was Mayhem not the rotator this week, right? We have all these new supers. Why not use them in Mayhem, right?
Because it's weak, and Mayhem will be hilariously broken in some new way. Just wait."
Because every game in the Crucible is Mayhem right now.
Accurate. Very accurate. And the thing about it is there are these builds out right now, right? I haven't put one together myself, but I've seen them where they always have either a melee that freezes or the grenade that freezes every few seconds. So in PvP, especially when we were doing competitive, anytime you don't even have to turn the corner. They'll throw a grenade, it'll chase you around the corner, and you're done. And it's all the time. Every time you engage the enemy, you are frozen first. So whoever gets it out first is the winner of that engagement. And it's insane in its own right, man.
Yeah. Well, it's craziness. We'll have more to say about this for sure. We do need to start wrapping up this part of the discussion, but I do want to go to each person. You can each say one quick thing that maybe we didn't talk about. One thing that I want to add, and then I'll go to Sin next, is Gambit. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the shorter rounds. That's all I have to say for now. Sin, anything else you want to bring up that we didn't talk about yet?
No, for sake of time, I think I'll save my thoughts for the next cast after this, but I am enjoying it. I'm home obviously now. I was traveling at the beginning of the podcast, so I'm jumped in. I'm doing a few bounties as far as strikes, stuff that I need to catch up on. There's really a lot here. Our thoughts are going to develop over the next few weeks, so let's roll.
Excellent. Des?
I will say that I do also really enjoy how quick Gambit goes.
I want to say it is the first time I've heard Kingsley say, I might actually play this.
Yeah, I mean, it's super nice because, I mean, sometimes Gambit rounds feel like they go on forever, which was my only complaint about Gambit before. Sometimes they can go on for a while, but I mean, the overtime round made up for it, but now it's just one round, so I'm kind of still getting into the mentality of, okay, well, next round we'll just come back harder. Oh, wait, no, it's done. All right, fair. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, but a lot of other stuff, I guess. Well, even Gambit will come in time, like a more appropriate, what you call it?
Yeah.
Where hopefully I don't say every 5 seconds. That would be nice.
Oh, you're good. Hazel, anything from you, good sir?
I don't know. I think like the main thing that struck me was that my guardian's voice sounded like he hit puberty and he became I don't know who. But
right.
I'm like, I don't know where the hell his voice came from, but he's like, "Hello, Guardian." I mean, it was like not even that, it's deeper than that. It's like, I don't know, like corpse almost. It's just insane.
That frost does it to you, man.
I
voice. I
Destiny
think
needs to warm
someone
up
has.
his. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I think someone it just reminded me. I think someone mentioned the voice lines might be screwy because it's supposed to be Matthew Mercer as well for human males, but all males seem to be getting the same voice. So that's just a weirdness that I've noticed because
Hmm.
it seems to be the exo male voice. But anyhow, yeah.
All right. Gator, any extra point you want to add on?
I've got two questions first because I don't know the answers to these. Where do you go in the game to redo your face? I've looked everywhere. I don't know where to go to. You have to make a new.
Can't at the moment.
You can't. Okay,
I
that
think
answers.
yeah, unfortunately. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they've redone the models, so I mean, I went through it with my daughter because she's just started up a new light campaign, and it's pretty much looks very similar to how we started it before. There isn't beards or anything else extraordinary in it. You know, you can still choose the 3 different classes. You can still choose the different, you know, exo, awoken or human, masculine or feminine. Yeah, it's all still the same at the moment. There's no kind of real change, unfortunately.
So it's coming up. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was minor changes they said that they'd done to existing faces.
Okay. My second question is I heard that Gambit is the way to rank up right now. Is that true?
No.
It's
VP
good.
according to Respawn.
Crucible's the best, I hear, but Gambit,
Crucible.
I was doing really good in Gambit because they're still short, and
You're getting a lot of higher light drops,
I was.
Kingsley? Okay.
maybe I was just getting lucky, but I was probably like every third match or so, I'd get a high level drop.
Yeah, Gambit will be fairly quick because just like Crucible, you're getting those infamy ranks at the beginning, and also if
Well,
you're
that
trying
too,
to get
yeah.
through, you know, if you've got bounties to kill different, you know, alien races or get X number of kills with a Y gun, bring that gun into Gambit and go to town with it.
Okay. Good idea.
All I'm saying is if you hate Crucible, Gambit's not going to be a horrible option.
That's what I'm thinking. So,
Yeah.
I'm avoiding the Crucible like the plague right now. I have one quality of life thing that I don't know if you guys caught or not, but as a patroller, I don't know if you realize this now, but on any planet, I tested it, you can pick up a bounty, fast travel somewhere else, still have the bounty, not have to abandon the bounty. Like if you get a kill anything bounty, yeah, if you get a kill anything bounty now, say on EDZ, and you want to fly over and kill a bunch of Cabal at a lost sector over, you know, across the map, you can now do that.
So the new engine is good
I
for
didn't
some.
even try.
I told you the new engine.
Assumed.
I told you.
Well, that was so worth it.
Are you
Gator,
saying patrols or bounties? Because there's a difference.
No,
Yeah,
patrols. Patrols now, and they have a lot of kill anything bounties on bounties. I'm sorry, kill anything patrols on
That's I
Europa.
was just clarifying. You kept saying bounties.
I know. They're both
You
the
love
same.
this bounties.
They're both the same to me. But the main thing is on Europa, they have a lot of kill anything, real simple patrols to do. But just keep in mind, some of them have to do with abilities, some of them have to do with precision kills, and then some of them have to do with just kill anything. But that's the one thing I wanted to mention. That quality of life improvement is awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to 90 Man. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, sticking on the PvP thing, I found that the comp grind is probably the best place to get, you know, the drops because you get drops from Valor and you get drops from Glory. But the only problem is that it's not a pinnacle that's tied to it. It's just a normal powerful engram that you have to get 7 wins or win 7 rounds to get this powerful engram to drop. Now the only problem is if you're with a really, really bad team, even if you are solo queuing and they are losing every round, that's just, I know it's really bad luck, but I got with like 2 groups that just lost every round, and I was like, do I really, 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 really want this powerful drop? Or you know, this engram, do I want it that badly? I mean, I carried on and I found a couple of groups that were a little bit better and we won some rounds. But if you are stuck with a group of people that just can't win a round, it's quite demoralising. And if you're that person that decides, I'm going to up and leave the other 2 people here, that's not good. So I think they need to rework that to either get wins, win the rounds and you'll get the engram faster, or just play 3 matches in comp, because just to go in there to get an engram isn't really worth it.
So I don't know if anybody's mentioned this while I was gone or whatever, but big elephant in the room, load times significantly better on consoles, guys. Has anybody noticed that? I'm not talking the next gen ones. Even my son was talking earlier about even the Xbox One. so much faster. Earlier when I went to play with one of the guys that always wants to play with me, AZ, you know who you are. I got on console, and sure enough, man, I'm not going to say it's as fast as PC, but it was noticeably faster. I was very impressed by it.
It's
it's
a scripting.
Roughly a minute load times.
Yeah.
No, it's not the scripting. It's the fact that they
I
took
know.
content
I just
out.
said that the does.
It's the
See,
script.
I'm glad
It's the
Dan's
engine.
here.
It's the script. It's the
Have
script.
you guys-
It's the engine. It's like, oh, good. Like I said, like I said in Discord, like a 10-minute rant from Gator just to learn Gator doesn't know how the scripting works.
Have you guys tried?
Don't kill the messenger, by the way. Sorry, Knight. Sorry, Knight.
What?
Go ahead, Simon.
Sorry. Apple had an issue with the Xbox streaming app, and they said, Xbox, you can't have your streaming app on here to do, I think it was cloud streaming. Well,
Yeah.
Xbox have now got around that on the iPhones by putting in the streaming in their actual app, so you can stream from your console anywhere. So my daughter tried it. She managed to stream in the car to the home Xbox and play a game in the car with a Bluetooth controller. That is
Nice.
amazing. And I tried it with Destiny in the house, and I can play Destiny on my iPhone while my wife was watching something else on the television, and it was way better than what it has been like streaming on laptops, even Stadia when I tried that out. It was really good. There was.
Is that the iCloud? Is that the new cloud service?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
The xCloud thing, like streaming from your Xbox in your house to another device that is not your Xbox.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But xCloud will be coming back too. They're working on a way, but it's not ready yet. Yep.
Yeah. Their computers versus your computers. And the one thing I wanted to add is just I appreciate that your ghost having a personality. I appreciate sort of a sassy little ghost that he's got some voice lines that I've appreciated playing through this campaign.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone done the spider ghost mission yet?
Yes.
Oh my god! Sorry to cut you off, parody, but yeah, it is excellent. The ghost. Yep.
Yeah,
What
that's all.
about the perks on the ghost?
Yes.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, that is
Yes.
amazing.
I
That is.
worked my ghost like day one. I logged in.
Yeah, same
I worked
here.
Ghost, and I was like, "Hey, done. You can do things now, Ghost." I could finally find a ghost that I liked, not just that goes with the one perk or two perks that I need.
Right.
So I have my State 14 Ghost, and never taking off again because it's beautiful.
I have 6 masterworked ghosts, all for different varieties of
Nice.
activities.
Nice.
I have my general exploration ghost, which has the wombo detector, as well as the one that lets you occasionally, or it says occasionally, or like sometimes, but you get double like resource
Legendary.
gains a lot. No,
Oh,
resource
that.
gains.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm talking about the ones. Oh, okay, so while you're on that
No,
topic, while
public
you're playing-
defender. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, while you're playing like Gambit or
Oh,
they give you double legendary drops.
Yeah.
The prosperities.
yeah.
Yeah, use.
Yeah,
them,
like there's so many
especially
good
when you're leveling up.
things. But yeah, I have variety. My Saint 14 ghost is my strike ghost.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have a strike ghost. I have a crucible ghost, or at least I will once I unlock some more crucible mods. But yeah, I already have like plans for these ghosts. So yeah, I'm a very happy camper with ghost mods.
He's sitting there in his little basement, rubbing his hands together like the mad scientist he is.
It's been
Oh,
a while
man.
since I've been compared to that.
Well, all in all, I give it 2 thumbs up out of 2 for me. Maybe 1.95.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. We have other stuff to talk about on the podcast, but we just kind of wanted to start the discussion with our take on Beyond Light. And with this, we will be passing it on to the next group. So thank you very much, everyone, for this roundtable discussion.
My table is very much square, sir.
What I wouldn't give to fight again beyond the walls. I would tear out a Vex heart with my teeth. I would sear the Cabal with my burning light, challenge the fallen Kells to personal combat and scatter them. I've been watching too many Crucible matches.
And welcome back from that lovely roundtable discussion we had about all the thoughts of New Light, Beyond Light, and how there's no more light and we're all about power these days. So we're going to roll through quickly part of this Destiny patch, the 3001 update. Most of it, thankfully, was already teased earlier in the season, so we're not going to go over every last bit of it, but we're going to hit a couple high points. And, if you have thoughts, jump in. Respawn does. Follow his lead.
Oof. Keep the gloves above the waist, buddy.
Yeah, doing my best. The hunters down there, you're very sneaky.
Especially when we get the blink. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just a couple things. Engram, there are a bunch of changes to engrams. Previews for most of the gear engrams have been removed. So if you're trying to see what's in them, you can't. The following engrams have new versions created for Season of the Hunt, your Legendary Worlds, your Prime, your Crucible Gambit, Vanguard, Gunsmith, and Iron Banner. Older versions of these engrams will be removed from the game in Season 13. So if you're holding on to things, don't. Players with the back stock of these engrams in the Postmaster are advised to extract and decrypt them before the end of the Season of the Hunt. So don't try to keep engrams in your Postmaster as the season flips over. If you're wondering what happened to your Zavala and Shaxx, their boons, those are gone now. Your Eververse Gleaming boons, also gone. All deprecated. Bye-bye. Those can be dismantled to recover their full original price. Couple general fixes. Matter Scourge Ornament will no longer be available to reacquire from collections. Your last prediction from Shaxx now dismantles for less than its vendor cost. Your Universal Ornament item descriptions no longer refer specifically to your 3 items. Emotes will now display flavor text at the detail screen when being previewed in the Eververse store. They added icons to weapons who are missing their release watermarks, so you have some clue where they came from. Here's one to me this week. Exotic ciphers can no longer be added to a player's vault. And if you have a Triumph that gives you an exotic cipher and you already have it, you can't pick it up. You just have to sit there and wait. Players saving an exotic cipher in their vault, Night Demon, must remove it and spend it before they can acquire a new one. And your armor affinity now displays on your player's inspect. A couple of bounty changes. And again, if you have anything to add, just jump in. I'm going to roll through these. Your Lectern of Enchantment weekly bounty no longer references nightmares on Titan because those are gone. Progress is now made from defeating nightmares only on the moon.
And that's pretty cool, I guess, because I always wanted to do it there instead of have to go to the other lost sectors.
Yeah, it always seems silly. Go hunt this nightmare. Where? Over there, in a place that has nothing to do with this. A couple power and progression changes. Your powerful sources, your weekly rituals, and your powerful rewards released with Shadowkeep will no longer grant your powerful rewards. So don't do them. Not worth it. These rewards have been removed. These rewards have been moved to the new rituals with Beyond Light. And once your character's gear reaches the soft cap of 1200 and Beyond Light, it will be possible to receive small powerful upgrades from some normal drops. These will come from Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible, as well as some of the seasonal sources, and are not subjected to the weekly or daily lockouts. So sort of like Luke Smith was saying, play the core game, you'll get some benefit from it. These can drop until the power cap of 1250 and Beyond Light, and they reduce the power level of some vendor token rewards. And here's a big one that I saw day one, as I'm sure you guys did, Triumphs. We have a whole new Triumph screen. They've moved all of our legacy Triumphs that we can't get anymore and can just look at sadly to sort of a second tier down and put all of our new Triumphs up on a nice little top tier, which is nice, I guess, that they're all still there. So we can look at them and, look sadly upon the things that you can't do anymore. Maybe they'll be back with when they bring things out of the vault in some later date. Don't know.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit shooken up about that because I thought, where are my seals that I've already done? Not along the bottom. Where have they gone? And it took me like 5 minutes to find them. And thank God, they're still there and I can still equip my titles. I'm quite happy. So anybody else that's, worried about where your titles went, they're in there somewhere.
Let's see, I had the opposite for some reason.
They're out there.
For some reason, it took me to like the old titles first, or the old Triumphs, and I'm going, you said Triumphs unlocked, where are they? And I couldn't find them at first. I spent time going the other way, going, oh, look, a whole new screen, and they're here now. So yeah, your medals, your exotic catalysts, and your lore have all been given their own section within the Triumph screen. So you can actually find them and figure out which catalysts you haven't done without using third-party websites. They improved the lore screen to add better book and page navigation. You can actually read them, which is really nice.
Your triumphs now display both the current step reward and the final completion reward. So when your buddy says, "Hey, I'm trying to do this thing," you can have some prayer of finding what they're trying to work on or what weapon it's for. Triumphs have been overhauled and are categorized in a new way. Your lifetime triumph set will persist across all seasons and introduces new players to the core aspects of Destiny. The destination triumphs will set to move to the legacy section when the related destination enters the Destiny content vault sometime in the future. Your seasonal triumphs will move to the legacy section at the end of this year, so it looks like they'll keep that legacy section around, and as things cycle out of the game, that's where they'll live, so you can go back and find them and equip your sets and seals and everything else you need down there. Your legacy sets will not apply to your active triumph score. So if you saw your triumph score go down, that would be why. And as 19 been said, titles for anything you've completed for any of your seals can still be equipped. Several new stat trackers were added to the system, including, but not limited to, weapon type stat trackers now gated behind the new triumph completions. So you can show off, hopefully, just how many auto rifle kills you have, or whatever your favorite weapon is. You can show people just how many times you've murdered everybody with that gun. And your Prophecy Dungeon stat trackers have been moved to the open world category, matching the other dungeons' stat trackers. And that was your first section. Any thoughts? Have I put everybody to sleep? Or
I have 2 bugs to add that Bungie may not know about.
Absolutely.
They both applied to me, but in good ways. Bug number 1, I just bought the standard edition with no season pass, yet it says I have the season pass fully open. So,
interesting. I wonder how long it's going to be until that gets patched.
Yeah, and then bug number 2, I did not technically finish my Outbreak Perfected Catalyst all the way, yet when I opened it up at the beginning, it says I have it masterworked now.
That's you and Night Demon. I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
Well, they sure didn't make it sound like it wasn't. Remember, they were trying to scare us like you had to get it done.
Yeah, there were a couple things like that. Like there was a Luna
I can add to that.
That was
Yeah,
I definitely did not earn.
If you did half of the, there was 2 parts to the Outbreak one. One that you had to get the Seaver particles from completing the mission over and over again, and the other one was to get, I think it was headshots or just kills with the Outbreak. If you got the kill part of it done, I believe that's just the only bit that you need to get done for the Outbreak now, which is why I was able to go into it and it was able to auto-complete as well.
It must be
made it a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, or since you can't go back and play that part anymore.
I thought they were going to re-bring those back. They said they were on track for like season 13 or 14 bringing Catalysts back, but they must have changed their mind and just said, yeah, we get to have it passed off now.
Well, what I can guess is the fact that if you put the work into it and if you've gotten it, I guess in fear of potential backlash, they probably decided to, perhaps without warning, like trying to get people to push, play the game a bit, and just end up, because they've done it several times in the past where quests have like auto completed that were going away. Actually, I want to say was it not before like Rise of Iron or something? I wanting to say that there were a bunch of things that would auto complete. I mean, I can't remember for the life of me what, because that was several years ago, and my memory and all. But yeah.
It was interesting though. I was kind of glad that I wasn't in a rush or worried about getting the masterwork for Outbreak, but now I'm kind of glad I didn't go through the pain of doing it all. Admittedly, I did pass one of them, but you got to do it 3 times to fully get it masterworked, and I'm like, whatever. But now I'm kind of glad I didn't go through the work.
Yeah,
right.
You cheated yourself, sir.
Yeah, I was trying to finish some of my catalysts because they said any catalyst you didn't have all the way done would be reset. But my Ruinous Effigy and Ariana's Vow, which I just never finished the catalyst grind, are where they left off. I thought for sure they would both be reset. I feel like that's what Bungie told us, but not so much. So I've been running around shooting people with the Ariana's Vow, just trying to get that done all the way.
Yeah, I actually still have my quest to even get the catalyst for Ariana's Vow. So. Yeah, I'm guessing the general earn or that. I mean, I don't know, crap. All I know is it's still there. But I wasn't playing Destiny during that season, so I still have to do like 200-300 more freaking strikes or whatever.
No, you're almost there. You're so close.
since we're talking about things that were like going away and coming back and this and that and the other, right? While I was playing on the Warlock for power leveling, I finally got to play one of my favorite builds that I've always loved on the Warlock, and that's the Middle Tree Arc, right? With Geomag stabilizers and the bad Juju, man. Look, the whole that put me on easy mode when it came to power leveling my Warlock. And did you guys find anything like that? You're all of a sudden like, hey, this is back now because of all these changes that they've made and this and that and the other, right? So, me being able to get a super every 30-ish seconds is amazing.
Yeah,
right?
I've got that build Respawn.
Yeah,
I get at least 3 supers, sometimes 4 when I play Crucible.
Absolutely,
that's
man.
with a 100 intellect too, though, and the boots.
You don't even need the 100 intellect is definitely icing on the cake, but mine I think is like 40.
I'm doing at least
30 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm doing at least double the supers of my teammates.
Absolutely.
Is anyone noticing tons of heavy ammo bricks on the ground?
Yes.
PvE?
Yeah, heavy seems more plentiful, and I don't know if they forgot to nerf it or what, but I definitely got the metal or whatever for like doing half the damage to your primeval, just with the sweet business with the Actium War Rig on. Just standing in there tearing into a primeval with the Actium War Rig. I ran out of ammo in the Gambit match. I used all of it.
Was that today? Because the last few days we noticed a surplus of ammo, right, in PvE, but yesterday and today, drought. Absolutely.
It was this week one evening. I don't remember which day.
Not in PvE when I was playing, or while I have been playing. Let's be honest here. But I did notice in Gambit it was a bit droughty, but then again, that's Gambit also, sort of. So,
yeah.
And also, I don't know about finding anything old, but having just finished 3 Crucible matches, Hunter Shurikens are evil. Oh my god!
I told you.
Popped a dude in the head.
And not just them, dude. Like all the Freezies are evil. Did I just say?
No, I'm saying.
Oh my god!
Popped a dude in the head for 91. Peeked the corner and oh god, it was like he's in slow motion. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. Dead.
Let's be honest. You weren't sorry.
Not at all.
Okay.
Hey, I got a question.
I got an answer. Maybe. I don't know. Depends.
Did anybody notice, like, when you're flying around Europa, that there's like sparrows just like sitting out there?
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did notice that.
Yeah, they no longer despawn. They just litter the landscape.
Really?
I mean, they might at some point. I notice even with my own, like I'll jump off it, it'll fly off into the distance, and it'll dematerialize when I call it again. Otherwise, it just, I haven't like timed it or anything, but it'll sit there for far longer than it did before. Just sitting there. Because I keep seeing things in the distance, going, "Oh, what's that over there? That's a new thing." Oh no, it's just somebody's sparrow. They just left
exactly
somewhere.
Like there was definitely a spot in Europa where I was flying through, and I just see a sparrow amidst like these freaking rebar like constructs and stuff, and I'm just like looking around, and no one's around. I'm just like, huh.
So
go ahead.
Since you're talking about sparrows, if you already know this, my bad. If you don't know this, the very first day, Fuzz and I were driving around together, and he was flying by me on his sparrow. I'm like, WTF, man? What are you doing? And he had the sparrow that you get from Scourge of the Past raid, right? And I was like, dude, you're faster than me. He goes, nah, I'm just better at driving than you. I'm like, no, you're flat out faster than I am, right? And he goes, maybe your sparrow's slow. I'm like, all exotics are the same speed. And long story short, we discovered that the Scourge of the Past sparrow is significantly faster than all of the other sparrows. So if you were lucky enough to get that, use it on Europa. Actually, anywhere. And it just, you're zooming, man. You're freaking zooming.
Oh, so I wonder if that's a bug or by design. We'll see on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Potentially by design, considering they had a
Respawn.
section.
Would it also upset you to know that you can buy that from the kiosk?
Only a little.
So if you can buy from the kiosk, go buy it from the kiosk.
Does it come with the same perks though? The original perks? Oh.
Yes. Oh, another quality of life, since y'all were talking about it. Did you notice that all of your sparrows insta summon now?
Yeah, we literally covered that last week.
I think I read that.
in a twat.
I think I heard it on a podcast.
Yeah, there's some podcasters I know that they covered it. You might know a couple.
You know what?
I mean, I distinctly remember going, yes, when I read that. So maybe.
Fine.
Does it
whatever.
does it still
Tease
like
the
surprise
respawn.
you when they insta summon though?
Not
No,
You go
me.
like, what the
Mine
hell?
all did that anyway. I all of
Exactly.
mine have that perk on it. But it's just
Exactly.
nice that now I don't have to farm for that perk anymore.
It was legitimately. This is going to be the saddest thing you've ever heard. Legitimately, first thing I did whenever I had control is I went through my sparrows and I kept the one I wanted,
No, dude, totally the same.
and I
That's not bad.
dismantled the rest.
No,
That
it
was
makes sense 'cause
legitimately.
you needed the space for the vault, man. Absolutely,
No.
I did that quick and in a hurry. Okay.
No, like I said, that was legitimately the first thing I did after you land on Europa. It's like, okay, sparrows, what do I like? That one. Rest of you, gone. It's
You
so
won't need
sad.
those. All right, I'm going to keep going through this lovely patch note we have a little bit. Everybody covered most of the weapon changes and tuning back on the 22nd of October, but there were a couple that they've snuck in on social media and other places. The Traveler's Prism, they reduced the muzzle flash intensity, so you can actually see now. Point of the Stag, they increased the
Yay.
maximum level to 1310. And they fixed a bug in Divinity that prevented some weapons from dealing precision damage to the Divinity cage, such as Ariana's Vow.
Say that again. They did what?
They fixed a bug that prevented some weapons from dealing precision damage to the Divinity cage.
Yeah, okay.
And then there was a big section on, we have enhanced mod rebalancing that we all discussed on, the 8th of October in that TWAB.
Yep.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody ever remember them saying that they were going to get rid of generic special and heavy ammo finders?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I missed that then.
Yeah, they didn't in so many words, and they've actually, in the patch 3001, they did spell a lot of this out. Because back on the 8th of October, they said, some mods have moved to different slots to create more competition for mod sockets across the armor pieces. For example, the fast ready mods have all been moved to the arms, and they didn't really give any further details. So in this notes, they say your dexterity mod family is now all in the arm spots, now all in the arm slots. The mods that provide effects when you pick up an orb of power have been moved to the leg socket. The mods that grant super energy on weapon kills have all been moved to their specific weapon and have been deprecated. The Ashes to Assets, Dynamo, and Hands-On mods are all now in the helmet slot. The Arc, Solar, and Void Resistance and Concussion Dampener mods have now been moved to the chest armor slot. And their efficacy for the energy resistance have been significantly increased for the single mod from 5 to 25% for one copy of the mod, and 2 copies of the same mod will now have the same resistance, about 40% of that damage. Your minor, major, and boss resist have all been deprecated. Don't go look for them. The Transcendent Blessing mod has been moved to the general socket. The Traction mod no longer costs armor energy and no longer provides any bonuses to mobility. And the Explosive Finisher has joined all the other grenade-related mods in the solar energy type. So if you're looking for where did this mod go, it used to be on this armor piece, go read the patch notes or just listen to me read them all to you. They've moved all the mods around, so yeah, that confused me. I went looking for things that I knew was a certain place, and now they're different.
Yeah, more specifically, definitely study the mods collections, because
there's some good stuff there.
They're everywhere. And also one thing, the Transcendence mod, not that it really matters, but actually doesn't cost any energy. I noticed that earlier.
Nice.
Which one is that?
It's the one for the Last Wish Dreaming City, where you deal more damage. Yeah. It's in the general, but it actually doesn't cost energy, which I thought was kind of cool.
And this is where
poor traction.
Yeah, poor traction mod. No more mobility. And Night Demon, I don't remember if when we were talking about the your year 1 armor mods still working, if that was when we were recording or not. Since you have year 1 armor in your vault, you pack rat.
Yeah, I heard someone talking about that.
We'll see if he's still with us or not.
Yeah, sorry, I was in the middle of talking to somebody else. Sorry. Yep.
Yes.
Go on. What? I took my earpiece out. What? So what were you asking me?
Okay, I would say we're talking about the all the mod changes For those of
Okay.
you who still have the year, version 1 armor in your slot in your vault, I found that
they
things still work.
Yeah, they deprecated a lot of them, but then the Taken armament mods, I believe it was Sweatsickles made a video this week showing that the Armor 1.0 with the Taken armor mods that you could get way back when still work in Gambit. So if they still work in Gambit, they're going to work in Dreaming City, they're going to work in the Shattered Throne dungeon. And the good thing is about that, I mean, you're only going to get, I think the highest that you can get the piece of armor up to is 1060. But you'll only need one item on, and if the rest of your armor is higher level, you only dropped not that much.
So if you're in Gambit or seeing someone raining heavy ammo down, that's probably why. It's probably Night Demon with his year 1 armor.
Yep. Great against the ads, but bad against the players.
Indeed.
Speaking of which, has it been confirmed that it's still the same way it was before, where light level matters when you're in the PvP part of Gambit?
Not that I've seen, but I also
Probably.
All right. Well, all right. There, since we've talked about the activities, there have been a couple changes to activities. Obviously, your Legacy, Nightfall, and Heroic Story missions gone. Nightfield, the Ordeal, your adjusted adept recommended power is 1180. Matchmaking is available at 1150. And all versions of the Nightfall Ordeal now fill the player ammo at the start of the activity, like the Grandmaster has always done.
Whoop, whoop.
Which is nice. You no longer have to go to a place that no longer exists to get all your ammo that you wouldn't normally have.
Oh God, rip Tribute Hall.
Right? Isn't it gone though?
It's gone.
Yeah, that's what we just said.
Now we have the little tent. The little tent with Varix's arm chilling in it.
Is that Varix's arm?
It is. The one that got ripped off, man.
No.
Yeah. And Gambit, I'm not going to touch on because, it's shorter, it's better. They've changed it. If you have Gambit Prime armor perks, if you have Gambit Prime armor in your vault, get rid of it. Those perks don't do anything. You don't need to hang on to them. Let it go. Let it go, Night Demon. Just let it go. If you are going to step foot into PvP and Crucible and go, I know you took a lot of things in, I know you moved a lot of things out. What's actually still there? So what's still there is Control, Elimination, Rumble, Glory, Survival, and both Survival and Survival Freelance. Your weekly rotators are going to be Clash, Mayhem, and Showdown. You always have private matches, and Iron Banner, and the new Iron Banner Freelance will be making its debut this season. And when it's not canceled due to things going badly, Trials of Osiris will be back on the weekends. And if you've been to the tower, you found the new Monument to Lost Lights, go check it out, because you might have a Luna's Howl, or an Outbreak Perfected, or something waiting for you that you didn't maybe entirely earn, but it'll be there waiting for you. For you to come on by.
Mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. A couple bug fixes. So fix an issue where dying while holding Riven's heart would cause the heart to disappear. We no longer get to play the Two Titans and a Hunter What's the Flashpoint this week game, because much like Bungie has months ago, they've just removed them entirely. No more flashpoints. They've removed the following Shadowkeep challenges from the moon. The Rune Table, the repeatable campaign missions, the Nightmare Hunts, the Pit of Heresy completion, and the Garden of Salvation completion challenges. And also the repeatable moon bounties are broken right now. So the moon is broken. Just remember that. Go to Europa, go to EDZ, go to the Cosmodrome, your moon's broken. They've added notifications to the player's hub that appear whenever the player acquires a new quest, progresses a new quest step, or completes a quest, so you actually can keep track of what you're actually trying to get done. Tracking quests with the associated map location automatically adds a waypoint to that associated location. No more hunting for the map of where is this place I'm trying to get to. And they added a shortcut to the current season's Triumph in the seasonal tab in the quest log. And there's a new light experience. It's greatly expanded. We've raved about it earlier. Go play it. Go enjoy it. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you're a veteran player, go enjoy the new lightness. If you're actually new to the game, go figure out why we're all raving about this. I've been podcasting about it for many, many months.
I agree.
So if you are new to the game and you're hearing us talk about all these locations and you're going, where is that? They do unlock via XP, so if you don't own the expansion associated with that destination, so that'll unlock on the order of Cosmodrome, Europa, EDZ, Nessus, Tangled Shore, Dreaming City, then the Moon. So yeah, if you're trying to get to places, buy the DLC or unlock the content to get yourself there. A couple more bugs. They fixed a bug that prevented online friends from showing up on their roster on Stadia if you have over 100 friends. They fixed a bug that prevented players from earning progress on bounties when joining an activity in progress. And this most notably impacted the Iron Banner bounties and causing the players to have their artifact power enabled. So if you have any massively powerful Iron Banner folks, they shouldn't be there anymore. For you PC folks, the PC players with compatible NVIDIA cards and drivers will now be able to take advantage of Destiny 2's integration with NVIDIA Reflex, reducing click-to-display latency during gameplay. Which may be exciting or maybe nothing. I don't know.
It helps, but it's not wow,
Well, there you go. They've updated the lighting in a number of areas on and updated the sky atmosphere for EDZ. So if you want to go enjoy the skybox, it's different and beautiful now. And if you're playing the game in Portuguese or Polish, Osiris and Eris, different Brazilian actors, and Eris, different Polish actor. Due to the global pandemic and getting a hold of people, they will get those original actors back when they can. And lighting improvements and better dark area standardization. Please revisit your brightness settings to tune to your taste, and they recommend the HDR black point set to default middle value for best results if you're having some lighting or rendering issues on your, I assume, on the PC side. They don't really say. There was also a hot fix release 3002. Resolved an issue where Destiny could crash when players interacted with the vault in the tower on Xbox. And they implemented backend changes to improve Destiny 2 service stability, which is good because I think Live was down day one as well as Destiny, as well as everything. So that patch got pushed out on Friday.
Stuff,
Yep. And also, they adjusted Rose's fire rate from 150 RPM to the intended 140. So players may once again equip this legendary hand cannon. The heir apparent has been removed from the Monument to Lost Light's exotic archive. So you sneaky people who got it early, good job, because it's gone now. And
so we still get to keep it? Sorry, no, because I was one of those people. We still get to keep it?
That's what it looks like. It's been removed from the archive, but not from your player. So you tell me. Put it on and see if it still works.
I gotta find it.
And apparently, if you bought the collector's edition, your emblem was not being granted collections properly. So sad for you. And I think that is all of our patch notes and all of our hotfix for this week.
Should they now be called cold fixes?
Got him.
Just like our ability shouldn't have cooldowns, they should have warm-ups.
Well, hey, thanks, Parody. I appreciate you running over that, man. I know that's not the more glamorous thing to do on the show, but I know you guys do such a great job on it, so I wanted you guys to do it tonight.
Yeah, we need to give people something to fall asleep to during those nights when they can't stay awake anymore, and just need something to fall asleep and listen to patch notes being read to them, and they go, "We don't care about any of this nonsense. Why is he talking still?"
Right.
Well,
I mean about the patch notes, not you. Sorry, that came out wrong.
Well,
something above the belt.
Yeah, my bad. I apologize.
Wait, what happened? I was sleeping. I kid.
Well, thank you, Parody. I appreciate it.
A smoother voice than I have.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to our final part of our show. Questions from our community. And man, this is going to get interesting. We'll do that right after this.
Lock and load, Quick Draw. Let's find out what's coming to kill you this time.
All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. It's time for our questions from our community, and we have several speak pipes to listen to tonight. So let's not waste any time, and let's go right to our first one, which I will be playing right now.
Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning back into the Guardian Downcast. Sweaty Spooks here, and I've got a question. First off, thinking of our good old buddy Uncle Scumdeath. Got a spoiler alert here for you, so just heads up. Anybody participate in that live event for pre-launch? Notice how the Traveler was healed, and then going into launch, the Traveler was still broken. Any thoughts on that?
All right, thank you. That was from Sweaty Spooks. He's a member of several of our Discords, I believe. And he was talking about how the live event, how it healed, and now it's like pristine at the tower now. He just want to know our feedback on that. What do you guys think of that? Anybody?
Is it gearing up to kill us now since we have the darkness?
After what it did to the Fallen, I'm a little worried, to be honest.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
No, well, you see, that's the thing. It didn't do anything to the Fallen. It just straight turned tail and ran.
It just left. Yeah.
Right.
The darkness
so why
is
it
what's
healing itself
screw-
now. You know, is it going to do it again?
Again, like I think I made the joke while we were watching the event.
Yep.
If it takes the Traveler like 3 hours to start to repair itself, no wonder it took it a campaign to break out of Gaul's cage. Like this thing seems to move like a glacier.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
it's the size of a satellite, you know. So
I mean, yeah, it's almost a moon in and of itself.
exactly.
But I will say it looks weird. Like having seen it, like with the floaty, demolished bits for like 3 years, it's strange to see the D1 Traveler again.
Yeah, it's definitely very shiny when you go into the tower now.
Smooth.
Yeah. It looks sus as hell.
Right?
All right.
Wrong game,
All right, let's move on to our next one. This is from Uncle Scumdeath. I'll be playing that right now.
Hey guys, question for the show. When you're washing the bathroom out and cleaning the toilet, what's the best movie soundtrack that gets you going? Is it Rocky IV? Ooh, could be. Or is it The Greatest Showman? Ooh, don't know. Well, I'll leave that to you. Love ya.
Thank you, Uncle Scumdeath. His question, basically, for those that didn't hear it, it is, when you're cleaning the bathroom, what movie soundtrack comes to mind? He wanted to know if it was Rocky IV or The Showman, or the two that he came up with. Any input there, guys?
Tron Legacy is the perfect soundtrack for everything.
Good job. I like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with that.
That's nice. That's nice.
Pirates of the Caribbean fits the theme.
Ooh, yeah, I like that too.
Fair.
Des?
I don't listen to singular soundtracks very often. I guess I don't know. They fit the mood of the movie, so that's kind of how I preferred listening to them. And as far as any preferred listening, it's probably either some kind of upbeat techno or Metallica.
Ooh, Metallica.
So yeah.
How about you, Hazel?
I think I had to say, what was it? Damn, I forgot it because
it's what happens when you get old. You forget things.
I know, man. I'm like a decade away from your age.
Oh,
I
don't
can't
start.
How I'll be.
Don't start.
But yeah, it was actually Rocky for me. So yeah.
Okay, Sen Kingsley, what do you guys think?
Wouldn't that require us cleaning the bathroom?
Good point.
I mean,
good point.
Touche.
Just because it's one of my favorite soundtracks. You know, I put that on your show. I mean, Tron Legacy. I'll have to go with that.
Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah. Okay, we've got one more here. Bear with us. We'll play. Well, actually, that one we'll save for later. So we'll move on to our questions in our Discord. Can't talk tonight. And Hazel, you have one there you want to ask? In podcast questions?
There are quite a few in here that are.
Oh my God, there's so many.
That are very good, yes. So we'll just start off with a nice, easy one. So, Anubis Falls, question for the show. Seeing how a lot of the new stasis abilities are more of a 1-2 punch combo to do damage, are there any other classes that you are excited to play with to combo abilities? Example, Titans and Hunters, Warlocks and Titans, etc.
What do you guys think? Anybody?
I think everything's a combo based on what I've experienced in PvP. I mean, once somebody freezes you, everybody else finishes it, man.
Everybody piles on. That's cool. Sen, Kingsley, what about you guys? You have an answer?
I don't have anything else to add to that one. It's
Okay.
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I kind of shared it that I wasn't real happy that I had to finish up anything I did on my super. I didn't like that part, and it still has a lot to prove to me as far as it being a viable super compared to my good old Nova Bomb that just destroys.
Well, I think what he's asking, though, is more of like
working
more
together,
of like teamwork, actual like team play. Because
that was in
before it was always just. I mean, yeah, but before though, I mean, for all the other 3 subclasses, you were always by yourself pretty much. You know, if you were Dawnblade, you were just throwing out that, but it didn't really have any synergy with like anything else.
Good point.
Well, I mean, we used to always in D1, even at some points in D2, there was, I called it the Wombo combo, but it was the tether followed up with a Nova Bomb.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we've been doing, and this is by no means a combo, but I was one of the first people in my group to unlock the grenade that chases you and freezes you. So one of my raid mates, was a Titan at the time, I tell him to start running in because I'm going to throw this grenade, and I throw the grenade, it would freeze somebody, and immediately as soon as they're frozen, bam, he would rush right through them and kill them. You know, just not even give him a chance. So that has been helpful. You know, that way you can have somebody there to already ready to hit somebody as soon as they get froze. You know, and that's for PvP and PvE. So
right.
I would just really like to take the new stasis ice abilities and pair them with a giant flaming hammer to cause a new tsunami ability to happen, where you just see a wall of water coming at you that just pushes you back off the map. That's the synergy I want to see. Not
cool.
there yet, but
what about the Hunter Tornado with your flaming hammers spinning around in them?
There we go, Fire Tornado. I like it. I like where your head's at.
Fire-nado!
Exactly.
Step away from Sharknado.
Oh God.
No, stop it.
Shark Super. There we go.
But to be fair, this would be a way better, you know, movie than Sharknado. You know, all you see is a nice tornado with flaming Thor hammers inside of it, just demolishing entire cities.
The cow gets cooked already, and then you just have burgers dropping from the sky. It's a good time.
Or better yet, just the one flaming mall. That's the lottery one. Who's going to get hit by the mall, right?
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll pick the next one here. This is from Grugrux43. Question for the show: how do you now feel about sunsetting? I think it's horrible. I think I would feel better. I think it would feel better if we were getting new weapons.
Here's the secret to sunsetting. I stopped playing with pretty much everything that was being sunset last season. So this season feels totally good, and I'm enjoying the new weapons I'm getting from Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are new weapons.
There was a problem.
Not a lot of new weapons, or
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of new weapons, especially that machine gun. If y'all haven't got that,
yeah,
I'm getting there.
Oh,
that was one problem that has been identified, isn't it? The fact that everything there's a bounty, isn't there, to do machine gun kills. I think it's get 2 in a lost sector within rapid succession. And the problem is that the only machine guns that are available are exotic ones, and maybe one that if you didn't do the Seraph Towers, I think there's the 7th Seraph one, they're the only ones that are able to be power leveled, apart from this new one that you can get. So Bungie kind of dropped the ball on that. They haven't kind of thought things through, because it would be handy to have a Solar Arc and a Void one, but now we've lost a couple due to the sunsetting.
Yeah, good point. Anybody else?
Sorry, I blanked. Oh, I cried.
I have a thought after
I cried like a full-grown 400-pound baby, right? Because I had to delete my Mountaintop and my Recluse and my Revoker, all the things that I actually earned, man, just gone.
Well, you work. Think how hard you had to work for those. You had to work hard for those weapons, man.
Yeah, no, it was really bad, right? So a lot of my favorite weapons I did get rid of. So complete honesty there, and it was actually, it did hit me particularly hard to get rid of the Mountaintop, because I use it all the time in PvP. I had a whole build around that thing just to keep me empowered with light constantly with that rocket launcher, and it did so much work for me. And then I had to delete it, man. That was a big part of my everyday builds that I had to get rid of.
Yeah.
They made you actually delete it?
Yeah, no, it's gone. Yeah. I mean, it's not gone. I can get it back from my collections, right?
He made himself
I mean,
delete it. I still have mine.
Yeah,
I did
exactly. I still have mine.
You know, I gotta make space. By deleting all those things, right? It did make me feel bad, but the shining light at the end of the tunnel is now I have 300 open spaces in my vault and 800 legendary shards, not shards, enhancement cores. So shining light right there, you know, deleting all that stuff did have a benefit.
I usually go with the seasonal weapons anyways, and I've already been doing that for a while, so this isn't really that different for me.
Yeah.
I was about to say this is a new expansion, so right now I will throw it in with the new, and everyone knows I'm devil's advocate when it comes to sunsetting anyway. None of y'all want to hear it, but I'm glad it's here.
Hazel, do you have a
I don't
point
know.
that you
I
want
mean,
to say?
I think that it's just weird because it's like they to me, my understanding of it was that everything was going to be power capped if it was before basically, last year stuff. So like I'm getting like Forsaken drops that are like 1100, 1200 and stuff like this. And I don't understand.
Those are the revamped versions of them. They did say they will bring back some again.
But
if they still have an arrival stamp,
no, they don't have a rival. No, I've got a Forsaken that's like 1201.
Well, what is it?
I don't think it has to actually just do with the stamp. Actually, that's why I've gotten confused too. But if it's in the world loot pool, and you get it as a drop today, then it can be leveled up. It's one of the ones that they brought back.
Yeah, it's a Harmony Blue SMG. It's 1203.
Oh, it's a blue.
Yeah, blues are different too.
Blues are they follow
you
different path.
you can't infuse blues anyway.
Nope.
Yeah, but still,
I mean, technically those are sunset as is whenever you first get them because
as is.
That's what they are.
They're just the vegetables you use.
They're just infusion fuel. Just feed them, put them into other things, let them go.
Yeah, I don't know. It
I mean,
still rubs me the
fire.
wrong way, though. It just still rubs me the wrong way to get something that's been sunset technically.
I mean, technically not. You'll be deleting them and not even worrying about them in a couple more weeks.
Out of sight, out of mind.
You'll be complaining about getting these blues. Like, why doesn't Destiny automatically dismantle my blues?
You know what I love?
Don't you dare throw my own words back at me, sir.
You know what I love? I love getting blue Forsaken weapons that are higher power level than the ones that have been sunset. So
Thank
my
you.
Sand Wasp, fantastic. I love that gun.
Yeah.
I mean, welcome to a perpetual world shooter, looter shooter that continually evolves.
Yeah, what he said.
I mean,
Welcome to
coming from MMOs, I've already been used to this. So the whole these blues are better, more powerful than my ultra rare gear. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. I don't mind that. It's the fact that
it's a sting out of it, though. That's pretty insensitive.
It's the fact that it's a Forsaken blue that is higher power level than something that would have been legendary Forsaken, which has been sunset that you cannot use anymore. Is higher power. I don't get that.
Well, the
Because that
exotics
was the
are too.
last time-
They're just
No, I
a
was about to
different
say-
category.
Yeah, that was the last time they've actually updated the blue loot pool too. Was Forsaken.
Right.
Because just think of this. You want to feel even worse about these Forsaken blues that you've gotten?
No.
They're technically not even Forsaken blues. They're actually D2 vanilla blues.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
There's not a lot of vegetables that people care about. But,
I just said no. And you
They've all been Forsaken to me.
Infusion fuel.
We just eat them when we have to, and then move on later
Yep.
on.
Exactly.
No, right?
It's like you're trying to hurt me.
But
All
no, I mean, like I said, all in all, I'm a devil's advocate for, and seriously, I am the devil's advocate for sunsetting. I normally regularly rotate out weapons anyway, and you can't make me delete my mountaintop. You can't make me not use my mountaintop in quick play. I still will. Watch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even the mountaintop themselves, even if It was nerfed a little bit. Like I noticed the lack of in-air accuracy that it used to have. I also noticed that it doesn't travel as fast as it used to. So yes, you can keep it, but it's also just not the mountaintop I fell in love with. Still good. Don't get me wrong. It's still good, but
Well, guess what? Then it's still the mountaintop I'm going to be using when other people say, "Oh, but it's a sunset weapon." Yeah, and you're still going to get murdered by it when I'm behind it.
And here's the interesting thing, and we don't have time for this whole topic probably tonight, but like they're sunsetting these weapons, right? Yet there's still the weapons that are being sunset. They're still tuning them some, like the mountaintop. Well, should we have? I mean, let's hear everyone's. We want our listeners to give feedback in all our discords or whatever. But should PVE and PvP be tuned separately?
yes,
Big question right now.
Yeah,
there's not even a question. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
They'll never do it,
especially when it comes to these supers. In PvE, let me have the 5-second freeze. In PvP, no.
No, they'll never do it. That's the magic sauce in Destiny, is to grab a gun in the PvE environment and say, "Oh, I wonder what this will do in Crucible." Mm-hmm. That's the magic sauce.
Oh, yeah, perfect example. That new hotness shotgun, right? The duality.
Mm-hmm.
In PvE, a freaking monster. The more stacks you get, the better it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
But in PvP, it's the chaperone is better than the slug version, and the freaking the lie, the shotgun, the lie.
The Fellwinter.
Thank you. Fellwinter's lie is better than the spread on it, right?
Yes.
So, you know, it is good that you have both in one, right? But it does not perform as well in PvP as it does in PvE. Perfect example right there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's only because duality is a jack of two trades, but a master of none. Fellwinter's was specifically designed to be a master of its trade.
Absolutely.
Chaperone was specifically designed to be the outranging slug shotgun. Those are unfair comparisons, in my opinion. But after taking off several people's heads just earlier with duality, I love it.
It's a sexy looking gun.
It's definitely good.
But I will say I do love it more in PvE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because when facing like tough enemies, you hip fire, you take off that shield, you aim it up, you aim for their head, 1 or 2 shots, done.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
All right. Good answers, guys. Hazel?
Destiny, Destiny, I think should just give up with a competitive PvP and let the PvP be crazy space magic and just call it a day.
Hey,
let us use the craziness, but don't try to balance it. Don't try to make it a competitive thing. Let us go in there and murder each other with space magic. Done.
I'm on board.
Let me ask
I'm on board with you.
This has been brought up multiple times the past few days, right? I just want to hear your feedback on this one thing, real quick and dirty. Okay, so people that I've been talking to have been saying that Destiny PvP is being geared more towards people that enjoy playing something like Call of Duty, right? So their solution to the PvP problem is just remove abilities from it, right? If you're gonna gear towards the more, instead of the Halo fans, right? It's going more towards the Call of Duty type looter shooters, right? Just disable the abilities, and you can have that Call of Duty atmosphere without all the abilities, like just making everything havoc. And then you can have some other modes that allow you to use abilities in it, right? Like,
you know what I say, go and play Call of Duty. You lot that want to play Call of Duty, you go and play Call of Duty. I'm telling the people that are moaning about it, you go and play Call of Duty. I will stay here with Destiny, where I've got space magic, where I've got an unbalanced sandbox. I've got all these supers going all over the place. And let's face it, at the beginning of a season, it's always chaos. There's always moaning. There's always unbalance. And yet we always seem to find a way of some kind of balance or some kind of meta that people shift into. Sometimes Bungie help us with that by tuning things or nerfing things, but it's all just going to go down the same route. We're still going to have the space magic. If you don't like playing Destiny, then go and play Call of Duty.
They don't like playing Destiny PvP. And don't get me wrong,
then go and play Call of Duty.
Either. But I'm not saying that, it's Call of Duty either, because that's a whole different animal in itself, right? But it wouldn't hurt them, and I agree with him on this point. It wouldn't hurt them to have a mode.
It would.
Listen, it wouldn't hurt them to have a mode where you don't have abilities, like a rotator.
It's called momentum control. Momentum control, where the supers don't mean anything and they are slow to even wind up. That's
Yeah, but
that's
now
where
we're meant
it's
to
just the
control what they
gunplay.
can change with all the frozen stuff, because the frozen's not meant to kill. The frozen's just meant to freeze, so you can kill them with a gun or a punch.
No momentum control anymore. It's coming back at some point.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what are we
Have we?
The ref's standing
Guys,
in now.
Have we talked about the reveal at the beginning of the week when Destiny went live and Phil Spencer and Pete Parsons were on a stream together?
Oh God, don't start.
So
Was
with the
was
new
that the one where Microsoft bought Bungie?
Oh my God.
no,
And then they said about the
This is-
Slipstream engine.
no, this is with the new console generation. So the Xbox Series X and S, and possibly PlayStation 5, but they didn't announce PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah, the 120.
Potentially, yeah.
That's
PlayStation
crazy.
5.
That is crazy.
It should be 120 frames in Crucible. So they didn't say 4K either. So it could be 1440 in 120 frames. But it's going to be normal campaigns, going to be 60 frames 4K, and Crucible's going to be 120 frames. That is
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
That is because it's all about
Actually-
frames in Crucible.
Console players, he reminded me of something. Sorry, I wanted to ask y'all this earlier, and I completely forgot. Do y'all have the field of view slider, and have you used it? And
No.
if so,
It's not till
It's not
December.
there yet.
oh gosh, okay, future patch.
Remember,
Alright, cool. Never mind.
Yeah,
later.
all of that is coming on
December.
December 8th.
Yep.
And only the new consoles, of course, which
Right.
I don't think
Yeah.
many people
They
here have.
confirmed
Really,
that.
only the new ones? So
Yep, only the new ones.
Oh, that's lame.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They have the better hardware,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the field of view change. It's not impactful. The resolution isn't changing, just the field of view.
Right.
I mean that's true. They could bring over the field of view, but
Well, then the frames will go down even more on the old consoles.
Not necessarily.
Probably.
Again,
I mean, probably.
it's the same
doubtful.
information on the screen. It's just warped to give you a wider range. You're not doing anything extra, man. You know, you're not.
Frames per second always go down though when you add more FOV. That happens on PC.
Yep, it does.
There's more data on the screen you're rendering at some point, but that's
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a good enough card, you may not notice it.
Show.
But
Yeah, I
technically, it is working harder. So I think the PS4 and the older Xboxes wouldn't be able to handle it too well.
Okay, this train is off the tracks officially.
Ow.
Hazel,
Ow.
save
We
us.
did really well.
You
Save
guys, you guys did well.
Save us.
But finally, it broke loose. Go ahead, Hazel. Let's pick
Yeah.
another question.
Okay. So we'll keep this one kind of light and easy. Hopefully. Sweaty Spooks, question for the show. Are you guys pleased with the new weapons that were brought in for Beyond Light?
Yeah.
I will say so far I have not found a weapon I have disagreed with. My verdict is still out on the one shotgun perk that allows you to load up 2 shells for a drastically decreased reload speed. But other than that, I'm all good with it.
Okay, well, that I can explain to you that when you load that, it will fill your magazine faster than the single rounds, right? So if you're loading 2 at a time, if you count how long it takes you to fill all 5 or 6 shots of your magazine, it's still faster than some of the slower ones.
No,
unless
no,
you're a
I
perk.
still get that. It just still
Okay.
takes forever, and I don't think I enjoy that forever for the one. Like I said, I get how it works, and I get the principle behind it. It's just I still don't think I enjoy the feel.
I think that's more for like a PvP kind of thing. Like when you're running around and you got to load that one shell, and the time it takes you to load the one shell, now you've got 2. I don't know.
Yeah, so far I'm liking it. I like the design of the weapons. I wish there were more weapons, but we don't know really what's opening up yet. This is the first week, you know.
Exactly.
To speculate now would kind of be short-sighted. I think we need to just kind of see, at least maybe talk about this and revisit this back in maybe week 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, when we have some
Right.
raid weapons in our hands, how about
Yeah, and we have more information too. So
Yeah, but I think we're all positive. I mean,
I think
for
so.
the most part, I would say. You know,
Yeah.
we're at least like saying, hey, I like this.
I mean, 4 words, no time to explain. Enough said.
Oh god,
gosh, I love that gun.
so good.
I just
Right.
found my new favorite pulse rifle.
Right?
It is nice, yeah.
How much do you like the guns? Well, I mean, there's no
No.
time to explain. So
No, there's no new favorite pulse rifle for me. It is again.
Yep.
I love that thing as the stranger's rifle.
It's
It
even
carried
better.
Me so far. I love that thing when they brought it back.
Yep.
I'm leaving that thing now that I'm loving this thing now that they brought it back again. Because every time they do something just a little bit to make it more awesome. But yeah.
When I remember getting that at the end of the Destiny 1 campaign, and I used it as long as I finally had to just put it in the vault. I still would never dismantle it, though. Because eventually it wouldn't get enough power, but...
I'd pull that thing out for...
Oh,
again,
and Crucible.
This is the type of person that... Yeah, I'd pull that thing out for, like, quick play and crap.
Oh,
that thing was still monstrous.
It is beautiful in PvE right now on Europa, and with bosses, it's even better because you can sit there and just crit, and your ammo just keeps coming back. It's great.
And it has more DPS because the thing.
And you got this little buddy over here that's shooting
ball.
too.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
When you guys get the catalyst complete, it is so much better.
I heard it fires faster. Yeah.
Oh, it does. It fires about twice as fast.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I finished that earlier today.
I'm almost
really
there.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm about halfway there. I'm almost there. A lot of kills with that weapon to get it.
I kept getting distracted by shinies. I have to go.
I know. It's easy. I know. There's so much. You know, isn't it just great that we have something to do in Destiny now? God, 22, 23 weeks that last season. That was a brutal season, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we have new stuff to drool over again.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got one from Mr. Monkey here. He says, "What 3 changes have you enjoyed the most that you weren't expecting?" Mine is the new lore-led Lost Sectors, Ghost 2.0, and New Gambit. Lost Sectors, I forgot to mention that in my one of the things I like. When you go into it for the first time, there is a voiceover that actually tells you what's going on in there. I love it.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I gotta go with this assessment on the Ghost 2.0. So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I kind of understood what they were getting out ahead of time, but I just didn't really think about it much. I'm like, whatever, it's something. But it is really, really nice. Just we should have had this forever ago on the ghosts. They're finally useful again.
Yeah. Have you guys been able to?
Customizable.
I tried to pull a speaking of customizable stuff. I tried to pull my Sparrow out and try to put new slots in it. Is that not available yet?
No, they don't
get new slots.
You're not allowed to pull sparrows out in public, Gator.
I walked into that one. I walked into that, didn't I?
Yeah. He's on the list and has to stay 500 feet away from any
Or maybe they allow that in Florida.
Maybe. We got sparrows everywhere in Florida.
Florida man pulls out sparrow in public, serving 30 days in jail.
But I thought you could get. I thought there were more. I thought you could customize a sparrow too. Am I wrong?
No. The fact they took out the one perk, so when you pull out sparrows, that perk isn't coming back, so you can get other perks. But no, they're not customizable like ghosts.
You can re-pull a sparrow out, and it'll give you different perks each time. But the perk that it took off that fast summon one is inherent now.
Okay.
So you'll just get the other ones over and over again. You just pull out your favorite sparrow over and over again until you get the traits that you want.
Okay. That was 7,000 glimmer wasted. Oh well.
Yeah.
Hazel, do you have something to say? What you guys say everything you like so far? I think we kind of went over that.
I will say the 3 things I like. I do agree with the lore lost sectors. As I mentioned before, I love the fact that Elsie Bray has time to explain. Again, sorry, stranger. Okay, I can't really decide on the third one right now, but those are my 2 things.
All right, that's a good. Anybody else?
That I wasn't expecting.
I like the fast load times. Just the whole feel of the game just being faster, and you getting to the places wherever you want to go. I like the new heroic lost sectors. I think that's a really cool thing that they've brought back into it.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
I also like the fact that they are moving slowly towards the point where you can't use old gear to level up. You can't hoard bounties to level up. It's going to get to the point. I know now at the moment, but it's harder and harder. Like the new exotics that are available, the helmets and the gauntlets, are only available from doing these heroic lost sectors.
Right.
They're not available from hoarding those engrams.
No.
If you didn't know.
Yeah.
You have to do them solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do it solo.
Yeah, and I had an exotic. Go ahead.
It'll give you a chance at getting it at a 1250. As a not a good chance, but it's a medium chance of getting an exotic, and hopefully it'll be the new ones. But if you can do a 1280, which is not going to be for quite some time, unless you're glad, it's a definite chance that you'll get
I was playing my 100
exotic from it.
I was playing my 100 on Europa the other day, and an exotic popped off a boss I hit, and I got so excited, only for it to find out it was an old exotic.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's one thing that's made me really happy is not having, the new exotic day one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like the last couple times is like, here are all the new exotics, and then you have them by the time the game finishes downloading. It's like they're just there. It's like, let me look forward to something.
I need my Hunter Blink. Okay, I need it. I need it now. I want it. I want it now.
You, sir, are going to have to solo one of those lost sectors. And funny enough, with those solo lost sectors, you get 3 revives. So if you do die in it in a darkness zone, you get 3 chances to revive yourself.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's good.
No, it's not. Because when you die more than 3 times, it kicks you out.
It's okay, but still,
because they're timed too, right? Like 15 minutes or something.
Oh, why Bungie? Why put a timer on stuff?
Yeah, the timer's.
Oh, they have champions in there as well, just to make it a little bit easier.
And it's 1250 to 1280 light, so power. I'm sorry, power.
Then get good. Good God.
Yeah, I'm currently 1230, and they were still 1 and 2 shotting me. I was like, I'm only 20 light level down.
Well, I'm glad you told me that because I was thinking about getting into there at 12:15 light, but I guess not.
I wandered in by accident, and I quickly found out that was a mistake.
You were the John Travolta gif, and
you are the weakest.
You made.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I literally was the weakest link. I couldn't even make it into it. So yeah.
Wow. All right, let's do a couple more, Hazel.
All right. Well, I guess what's the flip side of that question? So what's one thing, I'm going to only say one, what's one thing you want to see improved on?
Personally,
can I say it for Respawn and everybody else? PvP.
Yeah, that's my one big complaint is the timer on the freeze in PvP. Something's got to be done with that. Because it should not come down to who can throw the first tracking freezing grenade first.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is that if you are the one that throws those grenades, that does those ice walls, you can't get past those ice walls either. It's like, I just want to get round there to try and shoot them. Oh no, you're going to have to try and shoot it. And by the time you shot it, they've gone round the back behind you and shot you.
Yeah.
You think that? I tell you what, you go into PvP, you let me know how much that 30 works out for you.
It's worked out. I enjoyed PvP no matter what.
It's fine, go ahead. But if you can,
I've already been in there. It's fine.
I'm gonna watch it.
And if somebody throws ice grenades at me, I jump out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've
been realize that there's some out there that will track you and chase you down for an uncomfortable amount of time, right?
Yeah, I can run.
I was going to say, you remember D1 Axions, so I mean.
Yeah, I was just going to say Axiom.
I mean, there's really no difference.
I was just going to say Axiom boats.
Axions won't necessarily kill you in one shot. These things also won't kill you, but they will lock you in place and you can't move.
Yeah, and what world are you playing in? Those would absolutely kill you in one shot.
Exactly. Yeah. You do not remember D1 Axions.
Yeah, D1 grenade, D2 grenades to shame.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my answer.
So
take it or leave it.
Gator, what about you?
I knew PvP would be a sorry, and I've just been avoiding it. So I knew until they get it fixed. I knew the first week would just be chaos, and I'm just staying clear right now. Now Gambit, I'm ready to jump in, but I don't want to get my pinnacle gear yet, so I've been hesitant. But
do it.
Gambit is.
Why are you going to be in the raid day one?
I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm there in case someone needs me, kind of thing.
Yeah. You could do the evil thing where you never finish the third match until you finish your 10 bounties, and then
that's a good idea.
Hop out of the third match.
You can still do it. I tested it on my Warlock. As long as you don't pick them up, you can complete it. But as long as you don't pick them up, it will still grow in light.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
But after 3 matches, doesn't that pinnacle?
No. It just drops. It just drops. Respawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You're talking about the bounties for the drifter.
Like the
I am
weeklies.
talking about the bounties.
The
Yeah, I'm sorry.
powerful, yeah. I'll just back out in the third game. Sorry, blueberries that are going to be with me.
That's
But it'll be over fast though, right?
That sounds like their problem. Yeah, I think the Gambit changes I was looking forward to most because I love me some Gambit, and I do feel like it's in a sweet spot. I've played probably a dozen matches or so far, so I haven't played a ton of it, but I've played enough where I feel like it's in a good spot. I haven't had any of those super bad experiences. It doesn't feel too long. It doesn't feel like I'm getting invaded constantly. And when I do, it doesn't feel like, it's the gods of PvP with their truth rockets. At least people haven't found whatever the new meta is going to be. And
good.
Yeah.
I like this point in the season where there is, the meta is still shaking out. It isn't, this is the thing everyone goes to. And even then, maybe everybody doesn't have it yet. But it feels like it's in a really good spot, and it feels fun. It doesn't feel like a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gambit changes do feel nice.
Mhm.
Invasions. It doesn't feel like you're being invaded every time you turn around, but I will say I haven't played enough of a variety to really say a thing that I dislike right now. Like I said, I played 3 PvP matches. I won 2 of them, and the ones that we won, I went positive. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like
for
yeah.
The frost. If the other team has a bunch of frost abilities, they will invade you quite a bit because their ad clear is amazing.
Yeah.
We experienced that earlier. They use their frost to freeze and clear all the ads because you're not getting shot while they're frozen, right? And then they invade you all the time. So there are teams that are like that. So be aware.
Yeah. Hazel, what's your answer to your own question?
Yeah, so my answer to my own question is the map or the destinations, how it's all reversed now.
Yeah.
And I keep wanting to
Yeah, Nessus. I know, me too.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oops. Okay, by the way.
That's my biggest complaint. I'm like, it's a small one.
I'll take it.
I keep going to a playlist activity and almost loading up either EDZ or Cosmotron.
Yep. I do that too.
Exactly.
The muscle memory is ruined.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right, I have one from Chubby Wizard here. Question for the show. Now that the power grind is real again, do you guys infuse legendaries as you go? Or will you use blue gear until you reach the cap and then infuse your favorite legendaries? I'm not good enough to use random blue gear, so I infuse as I go. Thanks, love the show. I infuse whatever I can find. I mean, if I get a legendary and it's 3 or 4 levels higher, like a pinnacle drop, I'm infusing it.
Yeah, I played all blues until 1200, and then I started to infuse.
Yes.
At that point, because they come slower at that point.
Des, were you gonna say something?
I was about to say that's probably why Gator doesn't have legendary shards.
They're going quick.
Which, come on, I still have 7,000.
Jiminy Christmas!
I'm at 6,800 now.
I started this season
14,000.
Yeah, I started this season with like 8,600.
Oh my god!
The first thing I did was I bought 3 enhancement prisms.
Right.
For 2 days, I've bought all of Spider's enhancement cores.
Oh my god!
Just to get on Gator's nerves.
Wait, you said
wait a minute. You're the guy who spent 400 per prism.
Yeah, I did
Oh
it
my god!
this week.
1,200 shards.
Yep, gone, and I still have 7,400.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 13,000 shards, and there was a time where I had a lot of hours to pour into this game, so I've got materials from now till next week.
I want to give somebody an apology. Night Demon, you are not the guy with a problem. He is.
But yeah, so like I said, that was one of the first things I did when I went to Spider, just to spite Gator.
Unbelievable.
It's like 1, 2, 3. All right, cores, buying them all.
Oh my god, that hurts
you
just
didn't answer
hearing
the
it.
question, though. I asked you, is there a finite amount of cores you can purchase from him? Because I know they're all 30.
Yes.
3 per week.
Yes.
3 per week.
It is 3 per week.
No. Prisms are 3 per week. Cores are 5 per day.
Oh, it's 30.
I will direct you back to last week's podcast.
Yep.
I know, right?
It was in there.
Things like that. So, yeah, I am glad that they're locked at 30, right? Instead of 10, 20, 40, 80,
Exactly.
60, whatever, right? That was insane. So, yeah.
But no, as I was saying, I use blues, but that is why I wait until soft cap before going into playlist activities. So that way I can at least try out new purples. Usually.
They actually
Most of the time.
supposedly have even fixed that those you won't even have an option to accidentally earn the powerfuls until you're at 1200. They don't even show up as an option on the director.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I was worried about that too,
Right,
but then
exactly.
someone told me that.
You know,
that's a
and, yeah,
great
I
change.
just noticed that because I just hit 1200 today, and yeah, I was just noticing that all of a sudden I turned the Xbox on earlier to get the next week at Bungie, and now everything has little flashing icons. I was like, oh, there they are, and I didn't put it together. That's because I just hit 1200.
It goes to Pinnacle, right?
So there was a bug me and Fuzzco experienced, but we can't find anybody else that this happened to. Our weeklies got reset. Well, my whole weekly got reset. My Gambit, my everything, that all got reset, which is fine because I had already done those. But what wasn't fine is my Hawthorne gear that we've been earning over the week. That also reset for me. So I missed out on all 4 or 5 of those, powerful gears. And everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, "Oh no, you're crazy. You're forgetting stuff, yada yada yada." And then Fuzzco, which is normally the advocate of me losing my mind, goes, "Actually, if it makes you feel any better, the same thing happened to me." I'm like, "Ha! It doesn't make me feel better, but at least I'm not crazy, right?" So, did that happen to any of you guys? Where your weeklies just like reset after this big patch fix they did?
You mentioned that, and I went to get mine today, and it was still there.
It was still there.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't looked to see, but my Hawthorne is still flashing. So
A mind is a terrible thing to
mine
waste,
yesterday.
Respawn.
Hey, it happened to somebody else too. It wasn't just me this time.
All right, I'm just giving you a hard time.
All right. Anyway.
Ooh, also, very quick off topic. Has anyone noticed when you unlock a chest or unlock a door with stasis that you see the whole moon ghost phantoms in the peripheral of your vision?
What?
Of your screen?
No.
Pay attention.
Did anyone
I
notice
swore I
that
saw it.
a bunch of the emotes are totally broken? Like the graceful spin isn't so graceful anymore.
No, I haven't noticed that at all.
It's really funny. Apparently, a bunch of the multi-step emotes are hilariously broken. So you go to gracefully spin, and you spin 2 or 3 times, and then just stand there like a figure skater with your arms over your chest, just waiting.
Ah, awesome.
Nice. All right, Hazel, you ask one more, and I'll close this out.
All right. Let's go with we have a 2-part question.
Dun, 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 dun.
So sorry to do this to everybody here and subject us to this, but so part 1 of the question is, what does Alt F4 do to your computer?
Oh my god!
At Gator.
It increases your speed.
Oh my god!
Makes you
And
download all the
the
latest
second
drivers.
part, and the second part of the question is from Burning Wing. So that was from RNG Gator, aka Nicer Than Gator, and then Burning Wing 0, aka the Moist One, does the key combination Alt plus F4 mean anything to you, Gator?
Thanks for that, Hazel. Appreciate that. Okay, for those who don't know, I was I might have been in the live event, and I was trying to figure out how to do a screenshot because I'm not an avid PC player, and I said, and of course RNG Gator and Burning Wing were in the party at the live event. We were all in the tower waiting to.
Jealous.
Yeah, and Jealous, a bunch of others, and the Guardian Hub had a bunch too, and we he said, yeah, and as straight faced as Burning Wing could do, he said, yeah, man, just Alt F4 it. That's all you got to do. I'm like, okay, Alt F4. Where the hell did my game go? I could not believe I got punked like that.
Yeah, and then he had to load back in
I was
and
there
wait.
to witness all of this travesty.
There may or may not be an outtake at the end of our show. Maybe.
It was a glorious moment because here I am sitting there. He gets told Alt F4, and I'm like, he's a PC gamer, right?
No, I'm
Surely
not.
He's not that.
I'm a console
surely he's
gamer.
not- no, I'm just saying, like, surely he's not that new to PC gaming, right? Right?
Yeah.
What happened? Where did my screen go? Oh God, he is that new.
I am a total noob. I mean, I'm learning enough to get myself in trouble, obviously. But yeah.
I'm glad you were able to locate it right there next to the any key.
Yeah, found it. Yeah, found it. All right, I'm going to finish it out. And I think this is a good informational question. I think that probably a lot of people are asking. And this is from Uncle Scumdeath. Question for the show. I'm not paying for Destiny expansion yet. How far in power level is my max until I pay? In other words, is it pay to win? What's everybody think?
Yes. Because if you're stuck at 1050, you physically cannot do any of the new content.
Can they? Well, let's see.
But wait, if you're not paying for it, then you can anyways. What's the question?
Well, he says he's not buying the expansion. He's doing the free to play, and he wants to know if he does the free to play, what's his max light level or power level, whatever they want to call it now.
It's the same as us, but
that's what I thought.
It won't really matter.
Well, he wouldn't. If I remember correctly, I don't think he'll be able to have any. He has no chance of progressing past hard cap.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not pinnacle, but again, what would it even matter? Because there's less activities if you're in the free to play mode.
Well, that's true, but it'll just be more limited, I guess, to what you can do to get pinnacles and stuff.
Crucible.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, which I could be wrong, you're basically without the season, without access to it. I think you're just restricted to the hard cap. I think. Don't quote me on that, because again.
Well, maybe you can do strikes in the free mode, and 3 strikes give you a pinnacle.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So who knows?
I guess I don't know.
Let's say you can go up all the way. Let's just assume that, or at least close.
Okay.
But again, it's like if you're in the free mode, does it really matter being up all the way? You can't do trials. You can't do some of the other end game stuff.
You can do Iron Banner though. Iron Banner is available for everyone.
There you go. I always forget Iron Banner.
Yeah, and you can get pinnacles from that. So
that's true too. So I mean, potentially, yeah.
It's not limited. It's not pay to play, right?
I guess not. I don't think there's any other kind of roadblock anymore. I know there used to be.
Right.
Like if you didn't own the expansion, you were of course that was back when Forsaken, if you didn't buy Forsaken, you couldn't progress past this power level.
Because I always feel like what's the main draw for free to play, and that maybe it would be trials. For the free to play.
Yeah, trials is available for free to play. So yeah, they would have to.
Or not trials. I mean, Iron Banner. Yeah.
Right.
Is trials not free? Anyway,
no, trials isn't right.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but they just did. I don't know if you guys saw that message I put, or someone put it in the. I think it was Truth Lives who sent it to me, and I posted it in our notes. They now, for free to play players in Pinnacle activities, they have to verify at SMS. They have to have an SMS verification. So I don't know, what's that going to help you tech guys out there?
That's going to stop people from making extra accounts that people aren't actually physically playing.
Yeah. What about recovs? Will it fix recovs?
No.
Oh. Damn it.
I mean, unless the person doesn't want to give them their phone number.
Right.
I mean, but
you don't have to give them their phone number. You just send them the code through a Discord chat or something.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
That's true. Yeah. It can get around.
Well, potentially they'll limit. Yeah, but then again, also, I mean, if they're really hardcore on it, there are apps on your phone that can give you cell phone numbers that can be texted to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's making it harder. It's not going to stop all cheating and things.
Yeah.
It's just another roadblock in the way.
But account recovs aren't cheating though. That's
actually
it's against terms of service.
Yeah, it's against terms of service. That actually is cheating
for Bungie. For Bungie, it is. Yeah.
No, not for Bungie. For Sony.
Oh, okay.
That's a console term of service that you're breaking.
Even better.
Yeah, well, even better. It's just, people on PC, if you can spin up 1,000 for 1,000 new accounts and play in an afternoon to get your account in the trials, what's to stop you from using that and cheating? Just spinning up a new account.
Right.
The SMS.
Yeah.
Well, at least
you're talking about. Wait, hold on. Wait, how does that help you cheating? I'm talking about account recovs. You paying somebody else to help you out with something that you can't or won't do. Well, y'all are talking about like creating new accounts helps you cheat. How does creating a new account help you cheat? Break that down for me.
Because if and my account gets banned, I just spin up a new account and continue cheating.
But you'd have to start over again, though.
Well, yeah.
So that's why they're making it harder now. There's more roadblocks.
If you're cheating, I don't really think you're worried about the time commitment of starting over.
Right? Because if you're cheating, you can just go in with whatever
Right.
you start with and go right into it.
Yeah, if you're cheating, it doesn't matter what you have. You're running in with blues and getting head off the map.
So now you
Exactly.
can only cheat as many times as how many phone numbers you have.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's going to slow it down.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
gonna.
it's one trick in their arsenal of tricks. It's not going to solve it, but it's going to make it harder.
Exactly, and it's going to deter those that aren't super into it. But those that are super into it are still going to do it.
Right. Just like you lock your house, it's going to keep people from casually walking your front door. It's not going to keep everybody out of your house.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It's just a deterrent.
That's
That
why
gun
the
might.
Claymore is there.
Right.
Exactly.
That's true.
The gun might. The lock won't.
Right.
Well, my wife has a key, so she keeps coming back.
There we go. All right, we have one more to close the show out, guys, and this is from our buddy Ian BitDead, and it's a voicemail, and we're gonna play it right now.
Hello, you fine gentlemen. It's BitDead here. How we doing? I want to see if you can change my mind. For the last 3 months, I would say, I haven't played Destiny. I bought Shadowkeep. I did a few bits in it, but fell away. The constant grind for a casual player like me who only plays 2, maybe 3 hours a week if I'm lucky, the grind is too much. It's I always did the story and then fell away. Didn't do any more than that. So what I need you to do is tell me, is Beyond Light different? Is there a reason for me to come back? Is there a reason for me to spend my hard-earned pounds? Gentlemen, thank you for the great show. Keep up the fantastic work, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Laters.
Thank you, BitDead. If you guys didn't hear his question, he has not played for 3 months, and he wants you to change his mind if he decides to come back to Beyond Light. I guess change his mind. Why should he come back and play Beyond Light?
I will say first and foremost, shout out to BitDead. I love
Yes,
you.
he's a great dude.
RNGOG right there.
Mm-hmm.
He was love you, BitDead. Anyway, but also to elaborate, because like I told Gator, I listen to these big pipes in advance because I'm a nerd. But yeah, I mean, his issue was the grind. Like, he's kind of fed up with it. But as far as change your mind, so far, I can't. Because the grind's still there. I don't know if it's changed like significantly in the 3 month period. Like, I can't say that for certain right now. I know they've added a couple things like the strikes can randomly drop like more powerful loot. Getting to soft cap wasn't a problem, but that's soft cap. Like, soft cap to hard cap is usually where you feel the grind. And like I said, I don't have enough information on that. So
I think the expansion is worth, even though it's $5 more if you're just looking at the base one this year than last year. I still think it's way worth the money more this year than last year than Shadowkeep. So I would say, even if you're only going to play the story and don't like the grind that comes afterwards, it's worth getting it this year.
I would agree with that.
I'd have to pile on that because
New supers, that alone. Yeah.
Not only that, but if your gear is low and you're like, this is what I've been telling my son. He's wanting to join back in, and he's like 750 weapons and stuff, and I'm like, everything's 1050 now, man.
Yeah, they're 1050 now.
They're 1050 now, so you can start fresh like everyone else did in this game. There might be a few of us that are 10 points higher, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, the story is great. It's engaging. And even if you don't try to finish the season pass or anything like that, the story alone, I think, will be enough to satisfy what little bit of money you're spending on it.
Yeah, with Destiny, Destiny is what it is. If it depends why you're playing the game. It's still the same game that it was. If you left for the grind and the things, it's still the same game. If there's other parts of it that you enjoy, come back for those parts. I think it really just depends. People play this game for so many different reasons. I think it really depends on what's your reason for wanting to get into it in the first place.
Hazel, what about you?
I was hoping you were going to skip me on this one. I think honestly, again, it's basically like, if depends on what type of player he is. Because me, I'm like, after the whole, 6 months of season of the arrivals, um, I think I'm more of a casual now at this, and I really don't want. I'm not going to push myself. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to play other games and everything else. But at the same time, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm always going to come back to it just because I want to see what happens with the story, especially
Right.
now that there is a story. Dear God,
Yeah, that's what keeps you coming back. Yeah.
So, that would be my answer. And I'll hit the cap when I hit it, the hard cap. I'm not going to hit pinnacle cap. I really don't care about hitting pinnacle cap. It doesn't mean anything. But that's just
Okay.
play for what you want to play.
Right.
You like the story, or you want to check out the story, check it out for free, see if you like the story, and then come back and don't worry about the caps and that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Respawn, Night Demon, you guys have any opinions, or you guys good?
Yeah, nobody can tell you if something is worth it for you. This is your opinion. If you don't want to grind, looter shooter RPG is not for you, no matter what, man. But if you just like the game because you like the game for what it is, then yeah, come back, because Destiny is always going to be Destiny. But us trying to tell you, why you shouldn't come back, well, that's entirely up to you, man. What do you enjoy about it? What do you dislike about it? You say you don't like the grind? Still grindy,
Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure tonight. Thank you all very much for deciding to put this monster podcast on. It has been
TriPod.
Okay, I might title it that. We'll see, Des.
I don't care what you title it. It is a tripod. It is a tripod.
But you can't call it Tripod of Destiny because that is trademarked.
Oh, okay. Tricorn, you mean?
Tricorn. Yeah, why is tripod trademarked?
It's from a movie. Tripod of Destiny is from The Girl Next Door.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. Good to know. Well, Kingsley, why don't you?
That had a different connotation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think copyrights care about connotation, but try it if you want.
Well, Kingsley, why don't we do shout outs here before we head off? Kingsley, why don't we start with you guys?
Yeah. So unfortunately, Sin had to leave a little early tonight, but I know you can find Sin all the places at Sin_media. I am Kingsley Mac. You can find me on all the places as Kingsley Mac, except for on Twitter. I'm MC Kingsley. And Des, where can people find you?
Well, it's me, the person that should have left around the time Sin did, and I'm going to have an awful day at work in the morning. But, just so Gator and Hazel know, my comments might be a little saltier than normal for my Saturday listen through.
Okay.
But you can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven, and much like I alluded to, you're going to find me in the Guardian Down Discord on Saturdays, writing paragraphs about my reactions to podcast episodes because it's Saturday and I don't have management looking over my shoulder.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, Des. And you can find our show, The Guardian Hub, on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or on our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
Best hub on the net.
Thank you, since it wasn't here.
Jeez. We all know what the best hub on the net is. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's us.
Lore Hub, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
no.
good one.
No.
Good one, Hazel.
Touche.
So yeah. Anyway, Hazel, NT, anywhere, everywhere.
Gotta love the branding. You can contact me on the Twitter at Todd the Gator. Remember, that's GATR. You can also find me on YouTube, Steam, and PS4 as Gator, all GATR, all caps, underscores in between, and Gator Space GDC on Xbox. You can find our podcast on whatever podcast catcher you have out there, or just go to GuardianDowncast.com. We have all our deets there, and you can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast. Like I said, GuardianDowncast.com is the place to go. Hey, everyone. Do us a favor. Be safe out there. Take care of one another. Please wear the mask in public. We're not out of this yet. So please follow your state guidelines and do the best to keep the spread away. Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
And 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back. And you're back with Respawn, Parody, and Night Demon.
Hopefully you made it back. Hopefully you didn't, pass out halfway through.
So, what's happening next week in Destiny, Parody?
Oh, there are so many things happening next week in Destiny. First off, we've broken all of Destiny, so next week's be real exciting. As I stall to find the thing that I put in here, I wasn't sure where we were going next. I forgot how the show works. Next week in Destiny, we're going to get your artifact from Zavala's office and fly to the moon to search for Osiris. Hopefully, you've gotten your artifact from Zavala's office already. The Wrathborn hunt begins. Track down targets and deliver them cake. Mayhem goes live in the Crucible, and the Glassway will be the Nightfall ordeal, which I really enjoy the Glassway. I assume you guys have done it at least once, that end boss fight. I want that. I want more of that. I really enjoyed it.
I was expecting a little bit more from it, to be honest, because there's a lot of hidey holes that you can just go and hide in. And I was quite right. I mean, my level was fine for doing it when I had to do it within the story. But the two guys that I was with just kept dying over and over again. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to have to go and revive you. Hang on. But yeah, there was one point where I did get stuck under the stairs and I couldn't get out. And the boss is like slowly coming up the stairs. And I was like, my shield won't regen. Ah! And that was because I had to go and revive somebody.
Also, we have an update. Trials is canceled. It's been postponed till the 27th of November, so that's next weekend. And due to an issue with the Wither
the following weekend.
Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, 27th. Yeah, so 2 weeks. Ooh. So at least the adept weapons that weren't quite ready. Osiris wasn't happy with their quality. He had to send them back to the shop, so it's to be some delays. And they just said due to an issue. So I'm sure Cheese Forever knows what the issue is. I don't know what the issue is.
Yes, Cheese does know what the issue is.
The issue is frost abilities. That's the issue.
Is the issue the Wither Horde exotic grenade launcher being disabled until further notice because it's become a bow? It's become the new Telesto?
It could have been that, but it's not. Apparently, Cheese Forever has a video on it, and I'll link it in the show notes.
Y'all keep talking about the fact that it's a bow, and although it was reloading like a bow, the big problem isn't the reload animation. The big problem is it was doing way more damage than intended. People's not talking about that.
So like a bow.
Well, it's gone. It's gone now. So you can't talk about it. There's no point in talking about it because it's gone. It's not coming back.
We should also probably mention that if you were trying to run, say, the Exodus Crash Nightfall and an Exodus crashed on you,
yes,
they've also disabled that due to an issue where it could block players from actually completing it, which I feel like it had that issue before. So the Nightfall ordeal this week is now the disgraced for the rest of the week. And also the Moon repeatable bounties have been temporarily disabled. So lots of things are broken.
I encountered that.
Where you should be following Bungie Help on Twitter if you aren't already, because in addition to putting all of this in game, thank you, Bungie. Bungie Help is also on top of tweeting all these things out when they turn something off or when they break something. So you don't end up like poor G-Dad going, why is my light level significantly lower? Because you had the Wither Horde on and it got disabled, and now you have no light from it at all.
Yeah, that Nightfall bug was quite funny because I loaded in and it was like the guys had got to the point of destroying the walker just before going into the crashed ship, and it wasn't letting us go past the barrier. We did just everything was frozen. I mean, you could go out into the world, you could go anywhere on the planet, but it just wouldn't. And it's like so frustrating because they'd obviously got past all the barrier champions up to that point, which is quite a few on that electrical plate area. So they've got past the majority of it, and bless them. And I had to leave as well because there was no point. So yeah, there was that issue. But as I was saying, Cheese Forever did a video on the reason why Trials was cancelled, and it was to do with the Warlock super. It can do unlimited super. So there is a way of procking that over and over again.
Yeah, that seems like an issue.
Yeah.
Not if you're a warlock, I guess.
It's broken in PvP as well as PvE, but
Yeah.
you can still die in PvP. So if you see one of them come in, just shoot.
You
Just
can't
run.
shoot a warlock in a super anymore.
Yes,
It's
you
not a
can.
thing. No, you can't do it. No. He's lying to you guys. He doesn't love you, okay? If a warlock is coming at you and it has a super, you can't shoot it anymore. All right? They're invincible. They are the new gods of Destiny, okay? You just they're indestructible, right? Because you're like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna shoot you, and the warlock's like, I'm gonna freeze you through 3 walls and then come and kill you while you're frozen. You just can't do it. All right, just kneel down, play an emote of some kind which shows your subservience to the new warlock god, and they might be benevolent enough to let you live. All right, that is the only way to survive, and even that has a very slim chance. So if you see the warlock in a super, pray to him, okay, or her, not judging, just pray, because you might survive if you pray. If you shoot, you are guaranteed to die. Don't listen to him. He doesn't love you, okay? Freaking Night Demon is sending you down the path of horror and destruction and heartbreak, all right? Don't listen to him. Listen to me. Pray to your new warlock gods, okay?
Oh dear. So there's no respawn rant because we've already had that. There's no respawn report roundup.
Nope.
Because there's nothing else to report because it's all in the game now. So we just have to save those little tidbits for respawn each week.
Yeah. Actually, there was one thing Fuzzco wanted me to tell you.
Yes. Is this podcast related or does it get edited out?
It actually was podcast related. It was about what you were talking about before you started talking about the warlock, and I have forgotten what the hell it is.
So Fusco.
Oh no, that's what it was. No, I got it before I forget. Sorry. It's about how he's upset, right? Because the active Nightfall is a D1 Nightfall. If y'all noticed, we had that Nightfall in D1. Remember?
No,
that's
it's not.
That's what he said, right?
It's not.
Well, whatever. It's a very old Nightfall. I
No,
don't
it's not.
personally remember where it comes. Yeah, the one that we had.
The Disgraced?
The Disgraced, which is the one that's replaced the Will of Crota. And it's a different witch, as far as I'm aware.
It is. Yeah. It is a different witch and it's a different location, but he says that everything is reused, and he's very upset about how they're reusing old stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, I understand they're reusing old ones, but I feel it's nostalgic because I completely forgot this existed, and I had the happy feeling until I realized we had to fight the witch, and then it was a sad feeling.
Fuzzco, yeah. This is for you. Welcome to Destiny 2. There is stuff that's going to be in a content vault and stuff that comes out of the content vault. Get used to it.
Yeah, but just wanted to say that he's upset that they were using those resources. That's all. Continue.
I've got some tips, tricks, guides, and builds for you guys. Seeing as it's the beginning part of the season, there's quite a few different guides out there for different things. Mm-hmm. And Cheese Forever, bless him, has got a couple that might be quite useful. There's an infinite orb glitch with the hunters. You can spam like 100 orbs a second, and he's got a video showing you how to do this. So this may be really helpful. Maybe another reason why Trials was cancelled. And at the moment, repeatable bounties on any destination are giving you stupid amount of XP. So they're giving you a really good boost. The ones on the moon at the moment have been disabled. Bungie have identified that because it got out. But people have made more videos. Cheese Forever points us in the direction of other XP that we can use to boost our season rank. So he's got a video for that. If you are new to Destiny this season, Jarv has got a power leveling guide, which is quite a good way of kind of getting into the game and showing you how to get yourself leveled up to do some of this end game content. So if you are a new light player and you've done most of the campaign and you're at that stage of what do I do now, there's lots of things flashing at me, Jarv's got a good guide for you for that. Fallout Plays has got a power leveling farm guide. Now this is to replace the one that happened at the early part of the week that Bungie have now patched, which was going into lost sectors on the EDZ. This involves going to the moon and going to the Hellmouth. So once you fly in from wherever, from Eris, if you go left on the director, it's probably the quickest way, and go round to the Hellmouth. Now, there is an ogre that spawns down in the middle part of the Hellmouth that you can get powerful drops from. If you go around the other side where there should be a public event area, there should be a Trove Knight that you can kill and then jump out onto hidden platforms out into the Hellmouth, and that will give you a chest which can also drop powerful rewards. And also doing the public event there, that will also give you powerful rewards. So he's got a guide on that. As to cross game, he's got a couple of good ones for you. So No Time to Explain is the pulse rifle that you can get this season from the Stranger, and he's got a guide on how to get it and master working. So if you're a bit unsure of what to do there. And also what's come up this season is that the new exotics aren't available from just turning in old exotics you've been holding, so like on old season passes, in your postmaster, even in world drops, you're unable to get the new exotics for the season, which is quite nice. There is one way of getting them, which is doing the heroic lost sectors that suddenly pop up on the various different planets, and I believe they're on the EDZ and Europa. Is that right, guys? Not EDZ, on the Cosmodrome and Europa at the moment.
Until it was mentioned last night, I didn't even realize that's how you got them, or that those lost sectors were a thing. So sure, I'll say you're right.
Okay, so what you have to do is the lost sectors that are on the Cosmodrome and Europa. What you have to do initially is to actually go and complete them normally, so you've discovered them, and then what will happen daily is that they will rotate on each planet. So one day you'll get a heroic version, which is 1280, which is impossible at the moment, unless you're a god like Glad. And you'll get a 1250 version. So if you're like Respawn and quite close to 1250 or quite high power level, you can potentially go in and do these. Now you have to do them solo for a chance at getting an exotic drop. And they rotate daily, as I said, with where they are and what they actually give out. So as we record today, I believe it's gauntlets. So possibly tomorrow be helmets, and then the power level from each one jumps. So you may find the one on the Cosmodrome today is a 1250, but then tomorrow it'll be a 1280 version with a different item. So just keep an eye on them and go and do them. But Aztecross has got a guide on how to do one of the lost sectors and explains a little bit more in detail how to kind of do it. But again, at the moment, the 1250s, it's a rare chance at getting an exotic drop, but people are getting the new exotics from these locations. So that's the gauntlets and the helmets. So
yeah, I was wondering because I'm so used to being like day one, everyone being here's our in-depth review of all the new exotics and blah blah blah. And I had seen like one guy on Reddit go, "Hey, I got the Titan one. Here's sort of how it works," but that's all I had really seen.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm just happy not to have them all like day one. Not just can you go visit Xur, and if you buy the faded engram,
no,
do they come from that?
No,
okay,
not
good.
at the
So
moment.
they did actually patch that, because I figured they would be like, we're gonna take them out, except for Xur, except for you, where you can go literally buy them.
You can buy them, and then you can get that hexagon thing and give him another one and get another chance at getting another one. No, you can't get it from Xur at the moment. But what I feel that they're probably going to do is towards the end of the season, they'll probably put it in the Xur loot pool, in the world loot pool, so that more people can get these. And going forward, this looks like the way that Bungie are going to put the exotics, which is really good because it feels like Destiny 1 again, where you had to go and do a nightfall to get them. You had to do a raid and you got a chance at getting these things, and you really struggled being under level and doing these activities and having a chance at getting an exotic drop. So it's that kind of feel again, which is really, really nice, of that you actually have to put the work in to get a chance at getting one of these to drop. So if you have got some exotics that you've been holding on to, you can either still hold on to them from the old season pass or in your postmaster and possibly wait to the end of the season. Because if they do come in the world loot pool, maybe you want to get different roles of them, because that's another thing that happens. You know, the role that you may get from doing the lost sector at the moment, yes, it's a role, but it may not be the role that you want. And we don't know at the moment, as far as I'm aware, if you do get it from the lost sector, does it then open up into the world loophole? So if you do get another exotic, or if you do visit Xur, it has a chance to be re-rolled or get a new roll from them. That's unsure at the moment, so stay tuned for that. Ninja Pups this week has put a really good, several guides together of there's various different armor pieces that you can get from Varix and doing different quest steps. So Ninja Pups has got guides on Nexus and Well of Infitude stasis chests, the Rias Reborn and the Technocrats Iron stasis chests, the Braytech Exoscience stasis chests, the Eternity and Braytech Exoscience stasis chests, Perdition stasis chests, and all the entropy shards. So this is part of one of the quests, isn't it? There's various different quests that you have to go and do all these different things for. And once you're playing through the campaign, these will just pop up every time you visit Varix. It'll go, oh look, you can do this, and it'll give you this piece of armor. And hopefully this is a good way of helping level you up. And I can't remember why you need the entropy shards. Is it part of a quest for the exotic?
It's two things. If you find all 6, you complete a triumph. If you find 5 out of 6, you get the it's for the Freezy grenade launcher.
Okay, so if you're on the mission to do the Freezy grenade launcher, as we don't know what it's actually called at this point in time, I do have it.
I do.
What's it called?
It's called the Salvation's Grip.
Yes, so because I've got a guide for it further below. So, yeah, Jarv has a guide on how to get the Salvation's Grip, going step by step. And so if you're looking for the entropy shards, Ninja Pups, as I said, has got a guide for where all of those locations are. And Jarv has also got a guide of the Adored Sniper Rifle that you can go and collect from Banshee 44. So this is the quest to get this season's pinnacle reward. And you can either choose Gambit, Crucible, or Strikes. And Jarv recommends doing Strikes. And he's got a good way of kind of getting this done. And one good tip for this
you're
is
stuck with the blue color. I want the Gambit colors.
Well, you can do an extra quest to get that later, can't you?
I don't know.
Yes.
They didn't tell me. They just said pick one. I was like, okay, Gambit.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
pick one, and then you can get what they called the ornaments. You can get an ornament for the other 2 if you want to go and do extra parts of that quest. So he recommends doing the strikes, and you don't actually have to use a sniper rifle in the strikes as long as you've got one in your inventory on your character whilst doing strikes. And you're doing quite a lot of them at the beginning part of the season, so it's quite handy. He's got a guide of how to do that.
Wait, you just have to have a sniper in your inventory.
Yes, you don't even need to use it in the strike.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, my Gambit sniper is going to go much quicker then.
Right.
And like on the moon with the rice cakes and on the Dreaming City with the cat statues, we now have penguin souvenirs. And Abby Hour has got a guide for where to find the first penguin souvenir and what to do with it. And that will give you a triumph, I believe. So there's a guide for that. And
Press
then
button, receive penguin. I
Yes.
stumbled across one of those. Going, why are you here? And you're coming with me.
Was it in a cave?
You think I would remember, but I don't. I crawled all over that planet last night.
Yes.
And
You don't
stumbled
remember
across
where
it
you
somewhere.
found a penguin?
Sure don't.
Sir?
I don't remember where I find most things.
Have you taken it back to where Varix is? Now, you know where Varix is, you go in the green door. If you walk further to the right, there's another green door that you can go in, and you can place it in there, and that'll give you a triumph.
That's where the penguins live. Get you one.
Yeah.
Well, I will take it there. I will put it in the penguin room.
You
I'll
go
make
and do
sure
that
you
now.
get cold and
tell him I sent you.
Happy. He'll be a nice, happy penguin.
Varix likes penguins. Yes.
Oh dear. And our friend of the show, Froggy618157725, contacted us this week with a little video that he's done for an out of bounds Deepstone Crypt with major spoilers. So if you don't want to know any spoilers for the raid, don't watch the video. But if you don't care and you just want to enjoy it, he's got a video for that. Glitch Tutorials has also got a guide of how to get into it, I believe. So he's gone into the crypt early, so which is how Froggy was able to get in there. And Glitch Tutorials has also put out a video today of Crucible maps have no barriers, and using some of the ice grenades to get out of the map. Yeah, he shows you there's no barriers in the Crucible maps. So that's quite interesting.
So those extra places they added walls. Looks like they need some more ceilings, some more walls.
We did say this was going to happen, didn't we? As soon as we saw those ice grenades, we said, Cheese Forever, Froggy,
yep.
Glitch, Squirrellock, they're all going to be getting out of bounds, and those ice grenades are not going to stop them.
Now, here's the thing that I want to know. While they're out of bounds, A, do they die or do they stay alive? And B, can they still shoot people from out of bounds? And C, can people shoot them back?
We'll have to watch the videos to find out.
I will have to watch the video, but those are questions that need answers.
So those are all the tips and guides that I've got at the moment. Is there anything that you guys can think of that you've come across in game that can help people at the moment?
Absolutely, especially with noobs. Okay, so if you're a new light player,
there you go.
Whatever. And you have a warlock, right? So there's no specific exotics that you can get that's going to help you get things faster on any of the classes for your snowball abilities, right? But what you can do is if you have a couple of guns, like let's say, for example, you manage to buy a bad juju, right? Put the bad juju on any character. Obviously, that helps you get your super faster. But on a warlock, you can get your super and your abilities faster by having a bad juju as a primary, any void weapon as a secondary, preferably a void.
Question,
what?
Mr. Hunter, Master Ice. What's a bad juju and where do I get it from? I'm new to the game.
So a bad juju is a pulse rifle that has its effect is called String of Curses. And what happens is every time you kill an enemy, it A, reloads your magazine for you, and B, gives you super energy. More than kills naturally do, right? So you get a lot of super energy over time back with this bad juju.
Ooh, and where do I get it? Where do I get it from?
You get it from the what is it called? The past exotics thing.
Monument to Lost Light.
That
in the tower,
thing
in between the 2 vaults.
Yeah, that thing. So you can go there and grab it, right?
Can I?
Highly recommend it. I would assume so. I have no idea.
You're just telling people these things and you don't know.
If you have the bad juju, whatever. Okay, so if you can get it there, great. If not, it'll come back at some point in time. But
yes,
if you don't have the bad juju,
and I will tell you, you need 1 exotic cipher, 125,000 glimmer, 200 microphase data lice, and 1 ascendant shard to purchase it.
And there you go. That's all the stuff that you need. And like I said, the bad juju helps anybody get their super back faster on any subclass. It doesn't matter. It's just an all-around really, really good gun. That's why it's my favorite. For those, every time you hear a question, what's your favorite gun? Bad juju, without a doubt. Okay. Second thing you need for the warlock is the any secondary weapon or even a heavy weapon that has void. Okay. And then the third item is going to be something called the Nezarec Sin, which is a helmet on the warlock.
Can I purchase that from that kiosk thing, sir?
That I have no idea.
No, you can't.
No.
You should know these if you're telling people that. You can't just suddenly,
no,
you need
but
this.
That's in the world loot pool. They can go get a roll from Zur and have a potential to get that. See, there you go. That's how you have a potential to get that.
Sir, what's a Zur?
I'm not explaining the whole game, all right? You don't know what a Zur is? Go look it up. Let me finish my build, okay? So, any void, secondary, or heavy, preferably both, the freaking bad juju primary and the Nezarec Sin helmet. What the Nezarec Sin does, I will tell you, is any void damage from any source. Sorry, not damage, kill. Any void kill from any source on you gives you back all ability energy. Now,
ketchup sauce?
What? Did you say ketchup sauce?
You sure did.
What? Shut up. Anyway, it allows you to get all ability energy back faster. Now, it used to include super energy. I don't know if it still does. Disclosure. But it used to.
also give you back super energy on void kills. If that's the case, even better. If not, that's why you have the bad juju, right? So the void weapon to get your abilities back super fast, and excuse me, and the bad juju to get your super back super fast. And yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I would just point people to blueberries.gg because they've actually put together both a mailing list you can sign up for and a couple of good power leveling guides that are very clear, nice pretty pictures, nice big bold graphics of here's what you can do, here's what you can't do. They've even broken it down for if you're power leveling, here are things you can do that you need a fire team for, and here's things you can do completely solo. And it's been a good resource. They also worked with Mercules that we talked about last week on putting together a big time to kill weapon guide on basically which weapons kill fastest, where you can get them from. So just good resources now that they've Bungie has redone New Light. Blueberries.gg is a good New Light companion of hey, here's the things that the intro game won't tell you, but would still be good to know.
Have you put that link in the show notes?
Sure can. Sure will. Sure do.
Okay. If you are power leveling, there is one way of kind of doing it, and you're not too worried about getting there for the day one raid race, but you just want to make sure that you're getting all your characters. If you have more than one character, if you do the main campaign and you've done your power leveling on that one character, when it comes to the next character, what you'll find is that the weapons that you've got on that first main character will be able to then help progress your second character in getting higher light. And what you can do is if you have had tokens saved from Zavala and Shax over the last couple of months, or even if you've got new ones from this season, you can then go in and turn them into them. Yes, they will drop 20 light levels lower than what you currently are. But what I did find is that when I was power boosting my characters and I didn't necessarily have to transfer, but I transferred my weapons across just to see what light I was. And I was using Destiny Item Manager to track my stats. And I think I started on my Warlock and it said that my power was 1180. So it was going to give me drops at 1160. And because at that point in time, my character was only 1050, the drops I was getting from Shax and Zavala were higher power until I kind of got to a soft cap of that 20 light level to lower. I then went off and started the campaign and I started getting extra pieces dropped like blues and things that were higher. I did a couple of Gambit missions and strikes and things like that. And I got random pieces of gear from that, which then boosted me up even further. I was then able to go back and do turning into some more tokens and then bring my light up for those specific things that weren't aligned. So that kind of way of people turning in tokens is still there to an extent, but not game breaking or progressing people too fast in the season. So if you still want to use that technique of just boosting up your second and third characters just to get to like the soft cap, you can still do that.
I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm confused by what the hell you said. If your character is already above the 20 light level, why not just use your existing weapons to transfer it over?
Why are you confused?
I don't know. I'm already higher than you. I don't care. I'm tired, man.
There's also a link or two I want to drop in from Reddit this week, which I normally try to stay out of the Reddit that is very, very salty these days. But there is the list of all non-sunset weapons and how to get them that have been put together. So if you're looking for a particular gun, or if someone keeps talking about, oh, it's this gun or that gun, here's where you can get it. And they have the sources like Trials or Iron Banner that are still technically attainable, but you can't go get them right now because Trials is delayed and Iron Banner isn't out yet. So it's just nice to know what's out there, what it looks like, what its stats are. And I'm sure there's more YouTube, but I haven't watched it, neither have you. So
no, that's it. I think for that, we have had a little bit of feedback this week. I'm just looking it up now. We had an email this week from Ellis Rogers. What's up, everyone? I can hardly believe Beyond Light is happening today. I can't wait to hear your guys' next episode involving this Destiny 3 within Destiny 2. Love your show. Listen to it at school and work. Love all of y'all, and especially Respawn. Hunter Main to Hunter Main. Why must they nerf us? He's forgotten about that already, by the way.
No,
what advantage does that even compare to the Titans? The Night Demon and Parody. If you want to find me, I'm on Xbox and can't wait for this to go down. So for Night Demon and Parody, we can find him on Xbox. Even though Respawn plays on Xbox, he doesn't want to play with you. He shunned you already, Hunter Master Race.
I did.
You've been nerfed.
No, because you always tell him you can find me on PC. A lot of people don't know that I am also on Xbox, unless your name is AZ Plays, in which case he's always like, hey, Respawn, can you jump on Xbox? Hey, Respawn. Hey, Respawn, can you jump on Xbox? Hey, Respawn. Hey, Respawn, can you jump on it? Yes, I'm coming. God, Jesus, give me time.
It's hard to be loved.
And we got another one from Tim Argo. Is that Agro?
Tim the Enchanter? Is he in fact an enchanter?
I don't know. Does it say Tim the Enchanter?
It should say Tim the Enchanter because that's all Tims are enchanters. That's how the Monty Python rules of the world work.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So, yeah,
so if he's a warlock, he's definitely an enchanter.
I don't know. His name's Tim Agro. Show is great. Phone recording audio aside, at least you can hear him. Even it sounds like soup cans connected by strings. Anyway, dig the banter. It's clear you guys have known each other for a while. The chemistry is great. Not really, actually. Respawn could be a girl, for all I know.
I mean, we've known each other for
a long time.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
we've been in the same clan.
This is what, episode 94. So we've been at this.
You're always a week behind.
Hey, it's March 297th, and I'm going to live by that.
He's not a week behind. He just got through doing the YouTube of last week, so that's why it's still in his brain. Okay, leave him alone.
And Tim wants a parody. Tim wants also us to know if you're ever looking for another angry American that mains a hunter, whom also podcasts, give him a holler. So if we ever get rid of Respawn, we've got Tim to fall back on as well as Arth. We've got
That's not what he said.
And Tim.
It's not what they said.
Warlock Master Race Respawn.
Yeah. No, what? No, hey. Even if, and this is a big if, I play more Warlock than Hunter this season, which I don't think is a thing, right? Because I've like I said, I have found the joys in the Hunter abilities, right? I will never be anything but Hunter Master Race. Sorry, guys. It's just a thing.
You're not sorry.
Give it time. One or two more nerfs. He's all in on Warlock.
Oh no, that'll make me play Hunter even more and be super salty about it.
Oh dear. And then from Musical Plant, who loves to get in touch with us via Instagram, just listen to episode 92 about to listen to 93. But first I had a comment on the statement someone made that without Respawn your podcast would be 5 stars. He agrees, but with Respawn, this podcast is a 6-star.
Aww. That's so sweet. I don't have any money to give you, so stop.
I don't think he's after money.
Well, I mean, it sounds like I paid for that, but I didn't.
I think you do. I think you log on and you just randomly send us emails. It's probably all different accounts coming from you. I love Respawn. He's the best. Keep him on the podcast. And maybe that's it's you.
You know, the sad thing is I am not above doing something like that, but currently have yet to do so. I don't have the time, but I would absolutely do something like that just to prove you guys wrong, man. Look, everybody loves me. Look at all these 9,000 emails that I've opened up that say so. What you don't know is I have a bot that just randomly generates emails and then randomly generates names and then randomly generates, the emails themselves, right? But every one of them has to say love equals Respawn, and that's just how it is.
I think that's it. Unless anybody else has anything else to add to this second part of the show.
No. There are some builds out there. They haven't been released yet, but As the Cross and Fallout Plays have been hinting at really good builds for the Frostcraft, but they're not releasing them until after Trials is over because they want to get through Trials. Okay, But after Trials is over, expect really good builds to start coming out involving the new.
Well, I'm not going to wait around for Fallout Plays and Aztecross. I'm going to go to Crispy Bacon. I'm going to go to Bacon Gangster. I'm going to go to all the other ones that I look at that do a lot more.
Does everybody have bacon in their name that you associate with?
Yes, apparently. The bacon is where it's at.
Yeah.
Is there a guy called the Baconator? I mean, what?
Probably.
Nope,
Yeah,
copyrighted. Can't do that one.
I'm going to go and check all the other Piggy podcasts. Not podcasts. Piggy YouTubes.
I have a feeling he just searched podcast name equals bacon. What do we got? Okay, here
Yeah.
we got that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy.
Hey, bacon YouTubers are where it's at. 2020, all about bacon.
Oh my god.
And I think Parody's already done an outro, which I'll probably insert here, so he doesn't even have to say anything else. So
dun, dun, dun.
You don't have to stumble through it twice.
It's the small victories.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, as always, thank you for joining us. Your Titans have been Parody and Night Demon, your no one response in real life. Our lore scribe, Arf, is he's not here and he's not Arf, and you get no lore this week. You can email the show if you want to complain or rave about it at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can find the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram at twotitansandahunter and Facebook, you guessed it, Two Titans and a Hunter. If you need raid help, Guardian Hub and Guardian Downcast, those guys, these fine gents right here, you can find them at lfg.frozen.party. We're here to offer raid hindrance, trials hurt, and all the giggling you can handle. You can find your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live, Respawn on PC. You can watch the show on YouTube, listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. So get out there, enjoy your warm-ups, and go play Beyond Light.
Deuces.
And Bazinga. Deuces.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Oddles.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Stay magical.
Adios.